Till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne
back. What's happening, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Finn's Tailgate Cashin Tickets edition. We got no Brandon the bookie because he's doing some stuff with my sister on vacation. But we do have color commentary, Big Kev, and
what
Mike
kind of stuff? What kind of stuff he's doing?
They're celebrating their anniversary, so they're on vacation, doing whatever the hell they want, living up the good life. I'm sure we'll hear from Brandon.
Freezing cold,
freezing they butts off. So good luck. Anyhow, guys, before we get it going, let's make sure that you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure to hit that like. It helps to get the algorithm kicking. If you guys want to share it on Twitter, cool. If you guys are watching on Twitter, watching on Twitch, watching on Facebook, please do us the kind act. Come over to YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the like. Make sure to get in. And then also, guys, you can always check out all the great content that we have on the channels. There's TMI Tuesdays with Talk 7 that starts at 9. Right after that, we have Mike on the Mic with Open Mic at 10. And then Drop the Mic on Saturdays at 10 as well. And as you guys can see today, we have Cashin Tickets with Brandon the Bookie, Big Kev, and Oz. And then also tonight, guys, we'll be having late night color commentary. Directly after this, we'll take an intermission, and then we'll come right out, get into all the Dolphins talk. And guys, if you want, please support the channel. You can go to Cash App or Venmo. You can support us in those ways. And also, guys, you can catch the Finn's Tailgate all the time, anytime, getting down, Chinatown, Charlie Brown. So, guys,
I just want to know real quick, why am I the white mic on the mic?
The white mic on the mic.
You said white. It was a slip of your tongue, but you went the white.
You know what? Because I used to have a friend I used to call White Mike. So maybe I was thinking about him today or something like that. So anyhow, guys, we are in the. I mean, guys, it's game time. It's literally coming up. Super Bowl this weekend, and so as the betting show, Cashin Tickets, it is time to discuss. And guys, I see you guys in the comments. CT's here, God Soldier, MC. I know Q's up there, Squid Games. Ronnie's here, Andreas, all you guys, Aquavision. Thanks, guys, for getting in. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but guys, please make sure to hit the like button, smash the like, make sure, you guys are getting in the comments. We're actually going to open this segment up. So if you guys want to hop in and get in a little bit of the talking and the betting, once we get this ball rolling, is it Alda? Alida? I don't know, man. Persian?
It's Ali.
Ali. Is it Ali Da? I think it's Ali Da.
It's just Ali. I asked him the other night.
Oh, so just Ali. So
Yeah,
I don't want to disrespect. I want to go Ali and like the greatest fighter, So I'll keep it as Ali. So guys, we're gonna drop the link. Give us a little bit. Let us start rolling with this, and you guys can get in on the betting festivities. So
there's a million prop bets. I want to hear everyone's.
Billions. So let's start with the good old coin flip, guys. I mean, everybody who doesn't bet in the world is going to pick a coin flip. When I flip a coin, if I'm flipping it myself, I call it heads. But if someone else is flipping it, I call tails. So I don't know about you guys, but I got a method to this nonsense. I know it don't mean nothing, but Color, are you even betting on the coin flip?
I can't, man. I mean, if they're going to give us better odds, man, I mean, it's like, 50-50 at what, minus 110? I mean, dang, give us like plus 500 or something.
What's the national anthem? Have you looked up the national anthem, the length?
You know what? I haven't found that. They don't give that on this site. I'm gonna have to see.
I do have some weird prop bet about the halftime show, but it cuts it off on my bet slip, so I don't remember what it was.
I know that they had the time limit. Isn't it always somewhere right around like 2 minutes and 10 seconds or 2 minutes to 35 seconds? Isn't that usually what they do it on? If I recall correctly.
Mickey Guyton.
I don't know.
1 minute and 35 seconds.
Oh shit, I'm way off, bro.
Who's Mickey Guyton?
I don't know. Where do you see that at? That's who's singing?
Yep.
Who is Mickey? Does anyone in the chat know who Mickey Guyton is? Is he like a country guy or something?
Grammy nominated for 2020.
Never heard
Single
of her.
Black Like Me. Guyton has been on Heat Seekers charts for first 3 studio albums.
CCR.
Oh, by the way, guys,
damn, they're coming out hot
chat's already
already.
clamoring.
Yeah.
Chat's already clamoring. My Dolphin is in protest tonight because of the Zach Thomas news, by the way.
Yes, guys.
Damn straight.
We're saddened and infuriated. And this is just an absolute disrespect.
Travis.
I know he's not a Dolphin, but DeMarcus Ware didn't go in either, and that's kind of
crazy as well.
Yeah, but I could see them making DeMarcus Ware wait, a little bit. I get that, but Zach has waited, bro. I mean, now he's turning into the gag where you're a finalist every year, but you never get in. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, his counterpart has already been in for 5 years. I mean, as far as Jason Taylor, I mean, this is ridiculous. The man's family with a guy that's in the Hall of Fame.
I know. It's becoming ridiculous. But all right, guys, let's get to some of these crazy.
So real quick, Chris, I got a pretty interesting one to throw out there as far as props go to get started. I've never seen this one before, and it's pretty interesting. Will there be a scoregami, which means a unique final score in NFL history? Yes, the final score has never happened. Is it plus 1,000?
Yeah, it's tough because you got to look up. Then you got to look up what the scores are. It's probably weird, unique.
Right. But the note to that is minus 5,000. So it seems like they're pretty sure that the final score is going to be something it's been before.
It's hard to be a scoregami with how long football's been around. Think about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd have to be like 2-0 or something.
Or, some odd score where it's like.
But with the fact that everybody's going for 2 more often and
20.
Things like that, you have more potential to get that one-off score that's never happened.
If there's a safety in the game, that odd becomes a lot better. You know what
Is
I'm
it a
saying?
scoregami for Super Bowl scores or scoregami like ever?
It says
I've never
for
seen it.
for Super Bowl, unique final score in NFL history. It doesn't specify
In
Super
NFL
Bowl only,
history,
but
yeah. So that means it has to be a unique score in
right,
all of NFL history.
yeah, that's going to be almost
It's
impossible.
tough.
They got one I haven't seen here too. It says game tied after 0-0. So if are they gonna tie it again at 10 versus 10? That's actually
That's
they
not a
give
bad
you
one. That's a pretty common
Well,
thing.
why don't we get into the game itself? Why don't we talk about the game itself?
Right on.
Okay.
We got
Right.
what plus 170 underdogs for the Bengals.
Yeah, over under 48.5. Rams -4.
Mhm.
Rams money lines -200. Cincy plus 170.
Mhm.
What do you guys like? What do you guys what's up with the normal Super Bowl predictions?
I mean, look, bro, I've had the Rams picked to go to the Super Bowl since like week 5 or week 6. But I thought it was going to be Rams versus Bills or Titans. And if it was the Bills or the Titans, I thought they were going to win. But because it's the Bengals, I'd like to say I think the Rams are going to win. But there's also something I'm thinking about here, guys. Like, think about it like this. Not only did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally defend home turf in the Super Bowl, but it's going to happen again. And not just again, but in back-to-back years. Like, that alone makes me want to go ahead and take the plus 170 on the money line, bro. And I'm probably going to bet the Bengals money line, and I'm probably going to take them plus the spread too, because that's where the money's paying out. So
All right, so here's a stat for you.
let's hear it.
Teams wearing white have won 15 out of the last 18 Super Bowls. The Rams are wearing white. It's just a weird stat to think about.
Bro.
15 of the last 18.
Damn.
That's a lot.
Damn. I hate stats like that. It makes me question everything. It makes me question everything.
Because I'm all over
bro.
the Bengals. I mean,
I know.
I said it since the beginning of the playoffs. They give me Team of Destiny vibes. Joe Burrow, chip on his shoulder, sunglasses. I can just envision him smoking the cigar, lifting the trophy.
Yep.
I've said the Rams are frauds all year.
I got
but
you, Cincy.
The Rams have been proving me wrong. It's tough because Jalen Ramsey's really going to shut down Jamar Chase.
I also think about the defensive line, though, bro.
He's really going to shut down Jamar Chase. I mean, they gave up 9 sacks to the Titans in the wild card round. The Rams D line is going to eat.
They're gonna devour Burrow. And listen to this bet right here. Hold on, where was it?
He just gives me Nick Foles vibes when the Eagles went to the playoffs where he could do nothing wrong.
So look,
he just gives me those vibes.
They set the
I'm
stat
going
line.
Bengals money line, Bengals +4, Bengals alternate spread -2.5, Bengals every fucking way you possibly can go. I'm going, but I think that's just me gambling. I would not be surprised if the Rams blow them out.
I'm not gonna gamble. That's kind of the whole fun. I'd rather spend the money and lose. And guys, first of all, if you guys have a
and also the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, Sean McVay shit the fucking bed.
Yes, he did. Guys, there is a hotline that scrolls at the bottom. Please, if you need help for betting, this is all for fun. This is money that we put aside.
Oh yeah,
to pay. We're not experts, but we play one on YouTube. So you know what I'm saying? Trying to anyhow. Listen to this though. The stat line for sacks in the game, 5.5. They're giving you a -135 on over 5.5 and +105 on 5.5. You can't take that over, bro. You can't.
I mean, you have to take the over.
Or excuse me, you can't take that under.
No, you can't.
You have to take that over.
You have to take the over.
The Rams are going to get 5 sacks themselves.
The prop bets that I like, I wrote them down. I like plus odd prop bets. So
me too.
One I like is 3 straight scores by either team. So no team to have 3 straight scores either way. +165. I like that. Most first downs in the game, Cincinnati plus 150. Joe Burrow over 8.5, his longest rush. I think there's going to be a lot of situations where it's 3rd and 13, and he's going to make a couple plays with his legs and stand up and point first down. Plus 109. This one I'm not 100% sure about. Successful 2-point conversion, plus 200. I'm going to bet it. It's interesting. Von Miller over 4.5 tackles and assisted tackles, plus 100. And then here, listen to my logic. I really do think Jalen Ramsey's going to lock up Jamar Chase. And I think Joe Burrow's going to be smart enough to not throw his way because he knows that he's going to bait him. So what I think is that's going to leave opportunities for a guy like T. Higgins to be running across the field wide open. So T. Higgins, 2+ touchdowns, and Cincinnati to win, plus 1,600. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. So those are my 6 prop bets I'm looking at now. I'll probably bet the coin toss. I'll probably bet the over-under national anthem. I'll bet a lot more, but that's what I got right now.
Yo, how's this mic sound?
Fine. Sounds good.
Perfect.
Fine.
So just to piggyback off that, I did kind of look at one a few weeks. I put it in a couple weeks ago. Is that I'm looking to see the Bengals get a score in every quarter, and I've got that at plus 360. I kind of looked back at their games, and there are very few games throughout the season where they didn't score in every quarter.
Really?
I mean, there are a few, obviously, but they're consistently scoring in every quarter in all their games, even if it's a field goal.
I did find a total sacking game where you get plus money, 6.5 sacks. The over, if you take the over, if you think there'll be 7 sacks, you get plus 160. I might take that. I like that because I think Joe Burrow is going to be on his back at least 3 or 4 times, and I think they'll be more than 4. I would say he's probably going to look at a 4, maybe even a 5 sack game. I think Aaron Donald's going to get.
That's a good bet, Color. They've scored in every quarter this playoff too. Every quarter they've scored.
In the playoff, too. Hey, Color, tell them how you're perfectly hedged.
Oh, so back when everybody was still in it, right around the wild card or divisional round, I went ahead and put a bet for an exact outcome of the Los Angeles Rams beating the Bengals at plus 1,000.
Nice.
So that was a future prop, but I also have around the same time I put in an outright Bengals to win the Super Bowl at plus 900. So regardless of what happens when the clock hits 0 at the end of regulation, I'm guaranteed at least $45 up to 50. So
I know it's fucking genius.
Nice. What up, Drewbertron?
So Mike, before we continue on with these prop bets, who do you like in the game, Mike? Are you going Cincy or are you going LA? And
31-27 Cincy.
31-27.
So that's what, 4? That's 58 points, right? So you like the over?
I said 31-27.
God, every time I take the over, it's like 10-3 at halftime.
And the last time the Rams were in the playoff in the Super Bowl, they scored 3 points.
The Bengals are plus 475 in the race to 30.
The only thing I can think is that last Super Bowl, the Rams had Jared Goff, and Matthew Stafford's by far better than him. So I think it could be. I think it's going to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but Matthew Stafford hasn't had that Matthew Stafford game yet in the playoffs, and he's looked okay. And McVay's been able to not throw it on his shoulders.
I mean, Matthew Stafford's never really been in the what Matthew Stafford playoff game are you talking about?
He's lost every playoff appearance he's had up until this point.
I don't think he had one, did he?
He had what, 2 playoff appearances?
I don't remember.
Detroit?
I thought he'd never been.
Detroit?
I don't think he ever.
I don't know, Chris. I'm hard pressed to remember the last time Detroit was in the playoffs.
If he'd ever been in.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Aqua, I
Oh,
don't even
man.
want to talk about the Porzingis trade. We'll do that on my show Saturday. I'm pretty pissed.
Either way,
Good trade.
Matthew Stafford's crumble down moment where he looks more like Tony Romo. I haven't seen that happen, and I expected it in the playoffs.
See, okay, hang on.
Is the stage gonna get too big for him?
I want to piggyback off of that though. Is Tony Romo and Matthew Stafford, before Matthew Stafford went to the Rams, they had to do it all themselves because both of their defenses were absolute trash and they had to force it a little bit more. Matthew Stafford has a defense behind him now. He's not forcing it as much, and I think he's playing smarter. And so I don't know if you're going to see that collapse. I agree with you.
You will if the Bengals get out 2 scores.
Here's what's crazy to think about, right? Matthew Stafford, veteran. What's he, 14, 15, 12, somewhere between 12 to 14 years in the league easily. Joe Burrow in his second year. I'd argue to say Joe Burrow's more ready for this moment than Matthew Stafford.
Totally.
And he's more poised. And you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to think about in that situation. This reminds me of a Brady versus Kurt Warner in the Super Bowl, where it's like, who's this young guy?
I was on a plane back from Germany during that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
he does.
I mean, granted, Kurt Warner still had some years left in him, but still,
it looks like nobody could stop Burrow right now. Like he's got that look in his eyes. Like he's just. It's not even the look in his eyes.
He's got a glow that, like, when he's walking through the room, it's like, holy shit, it's Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, it's crazy.
We'll find out 3 weeks from now what it was really about. You know,
I would give anything for him to be the Dolphins quarterback. Oh man. Flores would have just listened to Stephen Ross and threw it.
100K.
We could have been here, and he could have been driving a Rolls Royce to the game. But oh well.
I'm just not convinced of that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have pulled a Favre and went to Cincinnati anyway.
I don't know. I mean, Joe Burrow's swagger, he would have loved Miami. Dude, he would have been. Every weekend he would have been staying at the Versace mansion. That guy would be going nuts. But then you would have, if he was in Miami, you would have the weird option of maybe him turning into a Johnny Manziel where shit kind of got to his head a little too much. There ain't shit to do in Cincy but play football. So that might have been a good thing for him too. But either way, he's incredible.
And he's also taking that whole city on his shoulders, man.
The Rams are 1-4-1 in their last 6 playoff games where they're favored by 3.5.
Oh, I'll go ahead and add that to my list on the Shanahan tree there. Thank you for that, Chris. I appreciate that stat.
The Rams are also 1-4 in their last 5 games as an underdog. So I don't know why that would mean anything.
Boy, that's so much more successful than the Belichick tree.
What is it?
Big Kev, 6-1 college basketball bets Thursday to February 10th to 2022. How about that? I just saw that stat. Well, it's not over yet, but Arizona's up 20.
So here's a good one. And we know that the Rams are going to be picking up yards like crazy, but over is 5. The Bengals are 5-0 in their last 5 games, allowing more than 350 total yards in the previous game. So they allowed over how many yards in that last game? So it's something that they even overcome. It's showing.
Dude, I can't get that white jersey stat out of my head though.
I know, it's like the signal to the wise guys.
And all of us are
look at it this way, Big Kev. If it's that heavily, skewed to that side, then obviously isn't there something to be said for regression to the mean?
No, not with a stat like that.
No,
so I have a weird stat about like the Saints. The Saints, well, it's different now because Drew Brees and Sean Payton are gone. But I had it where when they wore their like road white jerseys, they were unbeatable. They're unbeatable. It was crazy.
So I just found a website or an article about the 10 most ridiculous Super Bowl prop bets, and the first one is what jersey Drake is going to wear. It's Bengals plus 165, Rams minus 220.
Well, Dolphins jersey,
he might wear a Joe Burrow jersey. He might wear a Joe Burrow jersey. What about the colored Gatorade? What's the color Gatorade prop bet?
I'm
Here,
looking.
I'll look it up.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up right now. I got it.
All right.
Would it be under alternate? No.
No,
Let's
just-
see.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, you might need to just Google it. So I'm looking at some
It's
special
orange
player
plus
props.
It's orange plus 400, clear water 300 plus 300, yellow plus 300, red plus 150, blue plus 750, purple plus 1800.
Purple.
I mean, purple's my favorite. I mean, if
Yeah,
I
but
was
you
a
know they're
player,
gonna
I'd be
have blue.
requesting purple. Shit.
Yeah, give me some of that.
Did you already,
I like purple too.
I know y'all talked something about the national anthem, but this one says, will any scoring drive take less time than it takes to sing the national anthem? Yes, minus 240. No, plus 175.
Ooh. So
if
they score in less than a minute and a half,
Yeah.
march
that
down
happened.
the field.
I could easily see that.
I could see
like
that.
a 2-minute drill.
yeah,
Joe Burrow gets the ball back with a minute 23 left and gets in
or
field
even
goal
if
range.
it's an interception and the field's flipped, and 2 plays later, there's a touchdown. That's less than a minute and a half drive,
So
right?
the way that I look at those bets is I look at it from the plus odds. Am I going to take the plus odds? If I'm not, I'm probably not going to bet it. So
This
think
one's
about
kinda-
it.
Me too, bro. I don't
This
take
one-
anything with negative odds. I ain't that
this
guy.
one kind
I
of
mean,
hits
I
my
do,
morals.
but
This one, it's will a player get a concussion in return to the game? And it's
Well, first
yes,
of all, if a
plus
player gets a
120.
concussion, they're not allowed to return to the game. So that's
No,
an
no, no, sorry.
oxymoron.
Will a player leave the game and not return due to concussions? Plus
Hey,
120 is yes, no is minus 150.
here's an interesting one. Will any word be forgotten or omitted from the national anthem? Yes is plus 750.
oh man, I hope this guy
Because
knows
even
his
if they-
words.
Even if they stumble across the word,
What if he says them in the wrong
qualifies,
order?
You know what I mean?
Does that count?
Well, I would
What's that?
imagine in any way that you.
What if
mess
he's
it
like
up.
land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Like backwards, but he's still got all the words.
He says it like Yoda.
So I've always been a big Super Bowl commercial fan, and this one's actually pretty good. It's which company airs the first commercial after the coin toss? Bud
Mm.
Light
Pepsi,
15 to,
easy.
Bud Light 15 to 1, Budweiser 15 to 1, Coke 19 to 1, Hyundai 19 to 1, Skittles 19 to 1, Mars and M&M's 24 to 1, Kia 24 to 1, and Field 2 to 3.
There's no Pepsi.
2 to 3. What do you mean?
It's 2/3.
Oh,
2 to
means
3 odds.
anything
Right,
else.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah,
listen to
anything else
this,
would be
dude.
Ooh,
Listen to
I
this one.
like that. I might sprinkle across all that.
Right,
Listen,
right.
listen to this. Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford both over plus 250 passing yards, and both teams have to get plus 25 points. If you take that plus 450 odds, I'm taking that right now. I ain't even playing because that's going to
So-
happen.
So, Big Kev, do trick plays happen in the Super Bowl?
If it seems
Yeah.
losing.
Yeah.
So, this one's will a non-QB throw a
Wait,
touchdown pass?
Mike. What kind of question is that?
yeah.
Nick,
It's, all,
Nick
it's no holds
Foles, Nick
barred.
Foles,
If it was
Patriots.
the
But I'm talking about like how
if it was
often it happens
Debo,
as far as betting, because this
I
one,
could see Odell Beckham throwing a touchdown.
so it
Yeah.
says if a non-QB throws a touchdown pass, it's yes is plus 650, no is minus 1400.
I mean, yeah.
So they also got-
you might sprinkle that, but you can't expect that to be hitting. That's crazy.
There's also 2 more bets that are very enticing that I'm looking at. Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow to score a rushing touchdown plus 300. Either or
Ooh,
scores a rushing
either
touchdown.
one of them.
Either one of them plus 300. I'm putting
Stafford's
that on.
likely to do it. He's the type. He's
Or
like the
Burrow,
Elway
what are you
type,
talking about?
know,
No
wants
holds
to put his
barred,
head
man.
down.
If the play's breaking down,
I
and
might
he's
buy a
inside
Joe
the
Burrow
10.
jersey when I get off of work tomorrow.
Anybody excited for the halftime show?
I don't know the halftime show. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I know
Eminem.
people have talked. Oh, it's Eminem.
Well,
Then yeah,
it's
I'll
Eminem,
totally
Mary
watch
J.
it.
Blige, Dr. Dre. It's a bunch of people, but they have,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be excellent. Then.
what's
Sounds
the
like-
first? What's the first song performed at the halftime show? You Lose Yourself plus 250. My Name Is plus 250. The Real Slim Shady plus 350. Without Me plus 500. Stan plus 900. Any other song?
It ain't
plus
gonna be
175.
Stan. I'll
No.
tell you that.
No, it's
It
definitely
ain't
not
gonna be Stan. Not a
Uh,
chance.
I don't know. I'd have to. It's probably going to be none of them.
What if it's
Probably-
Laffy Taffy?
Well, any other one
Chicken
is
love
plus
it,
175.
I don't know. That's a hard
What if
bet.
it's
'cause-
actually? What if it's Ashton Kutcher punks us and it's not Eminem, it's Paul Wall, and he comes out doing grills with Nelly?
Then it's
Hey,
plus
will
175.
any part of Eminem's performance be censored? No is plus 135.
Wow.
So if he doesn't swear, you're getting plus money on that. That's
Right,
insane.
right. If he's
No,
not
no.
censored, because if they miss one and he doesn't get censored, then you would still win the bet.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's if
wow.
he cusses and they don't catch it.
So, Big Kev, if both of the lines are minus, what does that mean?
What do you mean?
Like for an over or under, both of them are minus.
Oh,
Yeah, it's minus. It's just
It's minus
normal. It's
money
minus
either way.
110.
So
Yeah.
it's how many times will it,
Majority of the prop bets are like the
both
over under
minus.
rushing yards, over under scores, over under receptions, all that shit.
so this
Yeah.
one I
How
feel like
about this one? Will a brand new song be featured at the halftime show? Plus 350 for yes.
Ooh. Well, see, even
They
they're only
always
giving you
like to
plus
use those
350
platforms to debut
because it's so
something new.
low color. Because it's so low at plus 350. I bet you there is going to be one.
so
if it
Well,
was
that's
like
what I'm
plus
saying. A
800,
lot of
I
times
would
these
think-
artists like to debut something new in
Yeah.
these platforms.
Like
you
Dr.
know?
Dre debuts something different. I could see that happening.
So if I had to ask y'all, what do you think how many times the chains are going to be used? What would you think?
I would say.
What do
at
you
least
mean?
Once.
Like how
Like
many
the chain- a
times the
measure,
chains
a
are going to
chain
be used to
measure.
measure for the first
Oh,
game?
they're gonna call him out to look.
Yeah.
I would say, what is the odds? Plus 1.5.
It's over or under 1.5, minus 110 for over, minus 120 for under.
Yeah,
I
would
like
take the
over.
over. I would take the over. That's gonna
I was
happen
gonna
at
say
least
2 or
once.
3.
So
Get
I'm
down
looking
and-
at.
I think it's gonna be a close game, so I think it's gonna come down to a couple yards.
I think
I
it's gonna be a
do.
close game too.
Look at this bet. Commercial to play first. Irish Spring or Sam's Club. Sam's Club is favored plus one. I mean, is an underdog plus 125. They have
Irish
a bunch
Spring's
of
got
different head-to-head commercial
Irish
first bets.
Spring has friggin' Super Bowl spending money to throw around like that.
Well, they
yeah.
have a few
What?
of them. So there's a couple chances at pushes. You know what I mean? So they have a bunch of them listed like head-to-head battles between two different companies as to who's gonna get see a commercial
Where's
first.
the-
Yeah, well, if
what's
it's
the,
Budweiser, let me ask you a question. If it's Budweiser, does that count? Is Budweiser and Bud Light 2 different companies?
Technically, no. I think that because they're
No, they're both
brands, they're basically
Anheuser-Busch.
brands under
Both
Both
Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch, yeah.
But
So
they're
they
two
would be
different commercials.
competing
They're two different
companies,
options for the
competing
bet.
brands.
I'll bet on either one, and if one or the other hits, I'll argue with my bookie until I die.
Do you think
So-
somebody throws over 4 touchdowns?
Ooh.
Ooh, over. I
Over
was
4
I was
touchdowns.
thinking about that one, Chris, but I'm putting it at 4. I don't know if anybody.
Yeah, I know.
anybody's
A
gonna
5th
do
touchdown
over.
is insane.
I mean, you're talking about shock the world
Well,
performance.
it's usually
by Burrow,
4
maybe,
or over. What
getting
does it
5.
say?
You know what I mean?
4 plus.
Ooh, listen to this.
Chris,
Aaron
does it say
Donald.
4 plus? Because
It
it's,
says,
it's
no,
4
yeah, it says
or
4.
more.
It says 4
So it
plus.
just has to
Yeah,
be
you got to
4.
get 5. Yeah, you got to get.
No,
5.
it has to be 4. 4 or
Oh,
more.
really?
That's what that means. Yeah.
Plus, I thought it always had to be. I guess it would be 4.5 then.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
4
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
would
okay,
be
4
4 or
plus.
more.
Hey,
I'd
you see
say,
in the
yeah.
chat?
Yep.
Did you see in the chat they said that Eminem and K Dot are working on a new song, so they might have a new song featured at the halftime show.
Ooh, we might want to take that
Oh.
new song bet.
Wow.
I like that bet.
So I
It was
like the
plus
odds-
300 too, because that's like enticing. You know what I'm
I like
saying?
the-
Because
Go ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say I like the odds on this one. It's who the Super Bowl MVP of the game will thank first. Teammates 3-2, coaches 12-1, family 12-1, God 3-1, owner 12-1, and does not thank anyone 5-2.
I would take God. They always thank God first.
Okay,
at
so
least.
what color liquid
least
will
a
be
good
poured
person
on the
would.
winning coach?
Yeah, that's the color of the Gatorade. Purple's plus 16 or 1800 on the side I'm on.
Wow, you're kidding. I got plus 450 on purple. That's Mike. Yeah, you might want to jump on that, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Didn't you say plus 1800 on purple, Kev?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it.
Oh,
Oh, no. I don't know where to find it. I just know that that's what this was. That's what the.
Hey,
odds were
what
when
will
you-
happen to Bitcoin price during the Super Bowl? Up or down?
I would
Some
say.
of them are so stupid.
How can you even
down
make
is
that
minus
Like,
bet?
look at this one.
105.
This one is Bobby Boucher shows up at halftime and the Mud Dogs win the Bourbon Bowl. Plus
Aaron Rodgers.
800.
Aaron
Listen to that
Rodgers.
one.
Aaron Rodgers MVP, Cooper Kupp Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I seen that. I was gonna say that.
Hey, check this out. Who will the Super Bowl MVP mention first in his speech? The biggest underdog is the owner at plus 2,000.
Yeah, he's not going to mention the owner.
Yeah, the owner gets
What
mentioned.
else? What are the other ones?
So you got
What's
teammates.
God?
Teammates is the favorite at minus 125. You got God or Jesus at plus 200. The city of Cincinnati will say at plus 500.
Ooh.
Family or family members plus 600. The coach 700. The owner plus 2,000, or none of the above plus 1,500.
So if Cincy wins, I could see Burrow saying this was for the city of Cincinnati.
Oh, sure.
I could definitely see that.
I like that.
Same with Stafford in LA, you know.
But that's not going to be the first thing.
Like, I could see if it's like a defensive lineman wins MVP, like say it's Aaron Donald, he's gonna say the big fat guys, they love their mama and their mama loves God. They're gonna say God.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
God's always my bet go-to, dude. Because then if I lose, I lose.
Yeah,
a
if
bet
it
on
was Reggie
Jesus.
White, it would definitely be God or Jesus, right?
So listen to this, guys. I like this bet. Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and T. Hendrickson each have 1 sack, plus 325.
Ooh.
I like that.
I've put that in my little side action there. I'm gonna take that.
I
Or
like that.
Joe. What about Cam Akers or Joe Mixon? Either one of them having 2 touchdowns or more. You're getting
Cam
plus
Akers has to
250.
not fumble before he gets in the end zone.
I think Cam Akers is gonna go off this.
Plus,
game.
you
That's
got
who I
yeah,
worry
but
about
be
the
careful.
most.
Well, I mean, it could be either or at 2, right? But as far as Cam Akers, you got Sony Michelle at the goal line too. You got to be careful of.
He doesn't know how to win in big time games. He went to Florida
Yeah,
State. He went to Florida State. He doesn't know how to win big time games. It happens.
So how about will anybody be ejected for throwing a punch or fighting at plus 800
Donald.
for yes?
No
Aaron
way.
Donald.
You
No
don't get
way.
ejected.
No one's getting ejected. That first
What
of all,
about taking
dude,
your shirt
It's
off?
hard to get ejected from the
He's gonna
Super
do his
Bowl.
roids right before. He's gonna do his roids right before the game. His emotions are gonna get
Better.
involved. They're gonna.
Can we
step on
talk
his
about
toe,
that?
and he's
How
gonna go
great
nuts.
is that for baseball that they're going to let him just roid up? It's going to be so exciting now.
It's gonna be awesome to
Finally.
crack.
I
it
wish
into
this was the
baseball
Marlins
scores.
5 years ago.
Oh, was that part of the agreement?
Yeah,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
on the table.
The drug,
Wow.
the drug bill that they wrote in the beginning. Mike told me
It's expired.
It's expired, so they got to write a new rule now.
Ah.
So
They're
So
also
until the new
they're
rule is
also
written-
saying that universal DH is definitely on the table.
And they're taking away the draft pick compensation if a player leaves in free agency with a restricted free agent. They're going to take the draft pick compensation away. The only thing I hope they put on the table is that they can trade draft picks, because if they do that, baseball, it's about to get so
Well,
much fun.
I can say that the preliminary effect, you might want to get your future bets in right away. The preliminary effect of the DH, universal DH, is it looks the NL is going to be on a tear next year. The NL is going to take the World Series, man.
But you see, I don't
The
necessarily.
Padres are going to blow up next
The only
year.
reason I don't agree with that is because most of the time the National League is going to be lower batting average anyways, but it might go up 15 points total. But I don't think I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think it's just going to be pitchers
You
are
don't
going to be.
You don't think so, Mike? Because I'm just thinking of the idea that you got all these teams that that coach around
Dude,
not being
imagine if
able to
Mike
they
Trout
manage
takes
around not being
steroids.
able to leave their pitcher in for most of the game. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
and
gonna
that's the
be a
thing,
big-
though. But you're gonna see a lot of the National League bullpen isn't going to be used quite as much, because you're going to see a lot of the starters are going to go 7-8 innings now instead of being pulled out in the 7th.
But some of those
So-
starters are not used to that, and
True,
potentially could be superstars in that regard. You know what I mean?
I just think it's exciting. Like, Aaron Judge is going to get humongous. It's going to be so sick. Like, imagine, I don't think he will. Mike Trout
God, I
doesn't
can't wait for
seem like that
baseball.
kind of guy. But if Mike Trout
I'm
takes
sad.
steroids, he might turn into a superhero.
Chris got a bead of sweat
I mean,
rolling
that
down
guy's
his forehead
insane.
talking about baseball, man. He's like, man, it's Super Bowl, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Baseball."
Sorry, quick tangent. I'm
But
sorry.
I'm getting sad. I want baseball to be here so bad.
I'm just reading some of these off props that are pretty good. Like
Some of them are great.
CT, you and I need to get
will
off.
there
We
be
need
a
to talk.
penalty for a horse collar? Plus 450, yes.
Can we talk about the Dolphins maybe get Kittle? That'd be the coolest thing ever because there is reports that Kittle said he never wants to leave his side.
Yeah, I don't think that's
and
gonna
it's
happen.
been
But I don't
reported
see
in so many
Kittle
different
leaving
ways that I
San
almost.
Fran, bro.
But it's been reported in so many different ways that I almost think it might be in there because first I heard it was he's not going to sign a contract unless Mike McDaniel's on the team, and then I heard that if he leaves, if Mike McDaniel leaves, Kittle has an out in his contract. I've heard so many different ways that good Lord, you imagine Smythe, Kittle, and Hunter Long.
Well, you remember when like there was all those reports when like Kaepernick got spotted getting off the plane wearing Dolphins pajamas and stuff like that. It gives me like those vibes.
Yeah, I got
That's
you on
what
that.
it gives me. It's cool. It'd be cool if it happens, but
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, it's
But
not
I think, I don't know. We'll
that
talk
jersey,
about
will be,
Okay,
that
prop-
jersey will be at my
prop bet of the
doorstep
night,
before he ever
gentlemen.
walked in the
Prop
door.
bet of the night. Will Mary J. Blige show cleavage at halftime?
Yeah.
She probably is all cleavage now.
bro? I need to
Ass.
bet
Yes,
on that.
yes is minus 300. No is plus 200.
I mean, she could come out if she could come out in a body.
If she's
suit.
in full spandex, like to the neck.
Ooh, you win. But then again, they changed like 8 outfits in that show.
She could
dude.
strip that right off and be in like a safari leotard.
Mhm,
Right. There
mhm.
could be a malfunction too.
Yes,
That's
we've
only
seen that
happened
happen.
once.
The whole
I missed it.
Yep. Should have
Oh,
took
I
that
can't wait.
nipple bet.
I just can't wait for the damn game to get here already.
I know. It's going to be a good
My
one.
buddy's like trying to do. My buddy keeps saying he's going to come over and he wants to do a show in the morning. And he wants to record like a 4-minute video for his YouTube page. And I was like, bro, Super Bowl Sunday. I'm gonna be drunk when I wake up. I'm gonna be drunk when I go to bed. I'm not gonna want to like waste time. I'm gonna be watching all the different storylines and everything. It's a whole day thing,
Bro,
man.
it's gonna be a full day event. I
Dude,
don't care who you
Purdue is getting worked.
Hey, what do you think about Texas beating Kansas, Big Kev? Should
That
I
was
be
a
excited
big
about my
win.
team, or is it still
Yeah.
wait and see?
Oh,
I
no,
think
no,
so.
no, no, no. They're starting to pick up steam at the perfect
I thought
time.
so too, and it
You
took
got to
me a little bit
understand
longer.
that Texas is a team that all transfers from like big schools, all older guys. They're like 22 plus.
I love
So it
Marcus
just
Carr.
took them time. It just takes some time to get together. They're a team that I do not want Auburn to see in the tournament.
Oh, and that's what. So, for the first time in like forever, because with Rick Barnes, I always knew we were.
they'll win the Big 12 tournament. Watch.
Okay, and that's what I'm thinking.
Watch.
Because
They
well,
won't
and
win
I'm
the
so-
regular season. They're too far behind.
Yeah.
But they'll win the tournament. Watch.
Well,
do
and
that?
what I've been
So
seeing,
check
what
this
I've been
out
seeing
real
Marcus
quick,
Carr do
guys.
lately is he's getting aggressive again, like he was last year, and not many people can keep him out of the lane right now. And he's getting into his groove, and the rest of the team is playing better defense. The team defense is better, and I love Beard. I'm so glad we have Beard.
Yeah, but it was a big win. It wasn't home, so that place was rocking. It's different. It'd be different. It'd be a way different win if it was at Kansas.
So check this out. They have a prop bet for the first Anheuser-Busch brand commercial to be shown, right? And the underdog is the Michelob Ultra
I was about to say Michelob Ultra.
at plus 650, right?
Yeah, but remember they did that Michelob Ultra commercial. It was like a blip.
Well, here's the thing, though. They have 2 separate prop bets for who's going to be shown in the Michelob Ultra commercial.
How many beers by halftime? You
So,
give me a number, Aqua. I'll try
Vegas
and-
knows there's going to be a Michelob Ultra commercial. You see what I'm saying? Because they got 2 bets on who's going to be featured in it.
Ooh.
So I'm just thinking, like, that's
We
a
should probably
pretty
just
good
take the
idea that
Michelob
maybe the
Ultra.
first Anheuser-Busch commercial might be a Michelob Ultra commercial.
Could be.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a hint there. Or they're just suckering us, the bastards.
Oh, of course.
Hey, if we win, how many bets are you making, Big Kev?
Oh fuck.
How about Joe Burrow being compared to Macaulay Culkin?
What's
Plus
the over
800
under
for
on the
yes.
bets you'll make, Kev?
Yeah, is it like 20?
Trying to think.
I'm gonna bet a shit ton. I'm gonna
honest, say probably between 15 to 25 different bets. Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
bet
all.
like
Really?
And
Joe-
all of
Joe
them will
Burrow
be,
smoking a
they'll all be
cigar.
between like the smaller ones will be like $50 a piece, and the bigger ones will be like 250, 300, just so I could sprinkle all the way across.
That's
So
Yeah.
you guys think the NFL will show Joe Burrow smoking a cigar?
yeah.
If
Oh,
he
if
for
he
sure.
wins,
wins.
yeah.
Plus
Or
550.
even clips of it.
plus 550 whether they're gonna whether Joe Burrow is gonna be shown smoking a cigar.
I guess
Yes
that's
or no? For yes,
Yep,
Yeah.
plus
it might just
550
show a
for
clip
yes.
at the beginning of the game of him after the AFC Championship smoking it, and bang, you won that first 10
But
seconds of the game.
with the way the NFL likes to virtue signal every single cause, would they show one of their players honking on a
They already
big
did.
tobacco bone?
See,
You know
I
what
wonder
mean?
if that
Bro, are
counts.
you
If they
kidding
show a
me?
clip of it.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Is it live action smoking or they show a clip of him? Because they might just
It
show
just
him
says,
looking
"Will he
cool.
be shown smoking a cigar?" That's the
Andrew
How do you
verb.
get
Whitworth, Walter
clarification?
Payton, Man of the Year. Good for him.
How do you get clarification on a bet if you have a question like this?
You
Big
don't.
I don't really know.
You
I
don't.
don't really know. Did you guys see that
Just-
story about Andrew Whitworth and Joe Burrow? It's pretty cool.
Oh no!
No,
I didn't
what
see
was
that.
it?
So they both tore that when Joe Burrow tore his ACL, Whitworth had a torn ACL at the same time, and Joe Burrow was rehabbing in LA and knew no one, had no one, and Andrew Whitworth like became friends with them. They started hanging out and rehabbing together, and Joe Burrow had his birthday over there, and Andrew Whitworth invited Joe Burrow over for his birthday. It
That's
was like a
cool.
whole thing. And they're like friends, and now they're playing in the Super Bowl like a year later. It's pretty cool.
That's
It's a
cool.
pretty cool story.
How many challenges
He's a
does the
good guy.
Rams
That
coach
Andrew
lose?
Whitworth's a good guy.
I love
why
it.
he just won
I
Man of
wanted
the
Andrew
Year.
Whitworth to come to Miami.
He just won Man of the Year.
Man,
for
dude,
him.
I wish I could get they got the exact scores deal, like the first half or
You do any
end of
squares,
the
Big
game.
Tim?
Bro, I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking
I
plus
sometimes I do.
20,000 odds.
Plus
You know who that
20,000.
guy doesn't look like?
Dude, listen, if it's
Zach
the
Thomas.
Rams, hold on, let me find a good one right here. If the Rams win 24-9, if you take that on an exact bet, you're getting plus 45,000 on that.
Zach Thomas's official statement's out. It says it was an honor to once again be among the finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I want to congratulate this year's class. They are all great players and each deserving of the gold jacket. I want to thank the Miami Dolphin fans who continue to be so supportive. You guys are the best. You hear more.
I die a little
That's
inside.
it. Yeah, that's
as you
just
read
him
it.
being a good guy.
That's because he is a.
He said, "I don't
good
want
guy.
anyone to feel
Because if he
sorry for
doesn't,
me."
he doesn't even get considered next time around.
He said,
Exactly.
I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry for me. I got the best out for myself and the game gave me so much. I can put time in with my kids because of football. Why would I ever complain on a game that's the best honor in the world?
Damn.
That's just not me. The game's been too good to me for me to complain.
Class act all around, bro.
They put Sam Mills in over him.
Michigan just beat the fuck out of Purdue. That's wild.
So, an exact Super Bowl score: Rams 34, or excuse me, Bengals 34, Rams 31, plus 10,000. I could see that
Oh, I
being the
love
game,
that.
bro.
I love that.
I
You
might
should take that.
I
Put like
think I'm
$10 on it.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and just
Actually,
put
put like $50 on it.
I ain't putting $50 on it. Yeah,
Put
you're
like
damn fine.
put $1,000 on it, Chris. Retire.
You know what? You're right. I'm just gonna sink my savings
Yep.
right into that.
Put it all on that. And imagine
No
how
risk
funny
it,
this
no
is. We're all
biscuit,
like
dog.
laughing.
By
like,
the way,
ha, ha,
if
ha.
anybody
And then
if anybody
that's the
feels
score.
like sinking their savings, we have a hotline down at the bottom scrolling across. You can get help.
So Anthony asks, why hasn't Zach got in? I listen. I'll tell you why. Because they
He was
hate.
in a-
They hate
like,
him. That's why.
Here's the thing, though. Let's not be like set like
Homer.
yeah. Like let's be realistic. He's like I try to equate it to like someone who's in like the NBA, right? So like he unfortunately like how someone like Carmelo Anthony's in an era where he was with Kobe and LeBron and Durant and Shaq. Zach Thomas was in there with the Ray Lewises and the Urlachers, and you know what I mean? Like
If
real,
he had
true
more,
first ballot Hall of Famers that overshadowed him, so it was tough. We're Dolphin fans, so we watched every single game. We watched him at number 99
lucky
going
you
back
hit it
and
on the
forth, going
head.
nuts.
Not
You know what
enough
I mean? Like,
playoffs, probably.
That's another
That's
thing.
it.
He didn't win
It's the
enough
main
in the playoffs.
stage. If he had the main stage a couple of times where
And
people
he also
could see
was.
him,
He also would have never transitioned into this game today. He could not cover the pass. So that's it. But neither could Brian Urlacher, so that's neither here nor there. So
yeah, it's a shame, but hopefully they'll make it right one of these days, man.
I know he deserves it, bro.
I
He
mean,
deserves it.
Offerdahl's
He was
in,
so good.
right?
yeah,
was
but
so
offered
good.
all, you know, it's just different, dude. It's upsetting to me personally because he's my favorite of all time outside of like Bo Jackson, which
And
I
it's
just sat
also-
in awe. Is like it's like personal for me because when I was a kid, I played football and I was like, I'm gonna be Zach Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the guy that I emulated on everything I did on the football
Yeah,
field.
we don't
Just
have
being
the word
just
motor.
hitting you harder.
Here's the
make you
problem,
give
though,
up.
Chris. Another problem for him, he was never even the best defensive player on the team. Jason Taylor was always the best player on the team.
No, that's
defensive player.
that's just more of like a stat
a
thing.
fact. He won Defensive Player of the Year. It's a fact.
I know that he had a year, but if you took
A
I don't know,
year.
just- I'm not saying
I mean,
saying that
is he
Jason
isn't he
wasn't
top
great,
10
bro.
sacks ever?
Yeah, I'm not saying
He
you're
was the
missing
best
my
player on the
point.
team. He was the best player.
Nah, I disagree, man, because Zach did so much dirty work
He did.
all over the
Yeah.
place. He got everyone in position. He was cerebral. The way
Well, if you ask, I was gonna say, if you ask Brady and Manning, they're exactly what Chris is saying is what they're gonna tell you is that he was the toughest person that they ever played. Period.
bro, the
that's what I mean.
coaches said
We-
that. Coaches
That's what I
would go,
mean.
listen.
I don't think we
you
were.
have to
I don't
watch
think we were
Zach.
using
Zach
the
will
word.
destroy your whole game.
Yeah, and I don't think we were using the word motor to describe linebackers like him before him. You know, like
Yeah,
we pretty much coined the word motor
yeah.
because
Ooh,
of
hey,
Zach
put that-
Thomas.
put that
High
comment by
motor, you
Joe.
know what I mean?
Put
Which
that
one,
comment by
Joe's?
Joe up because that's an interesting perspective. His stats say he's a Hall of Famer, but no big stage. When we start making playoff runs on the regular, then Zach gets in. If Urlacher is in, Zach should be in, but Urlacher went to a Super Bowl. So if the Dolphins become relevant again, maybe he will get in because the voters
Yeah,
will
well,
think about him.
it's just the same reason
Well,
we never got Pro Bowlers
But Urlacher
throughout
played
our
in the
history.
Super Bowl. Urlacher played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that year that they went to the Super Bowl, their defense was fucking dominant.
Nasty.
Nasty.
You think Anthony
I'm
says he thinks
terrible.
the media blames him for them not making the playoffs, which is unfair. I don't think so. Why would Zach be blamed?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
They
he
better
never did
not.
a bad thing ever.
No, are you kidding?
No one
You
has
guys
a bad
remember?
thing
You
ever
guys
said.
remember
Except
a
lay
couple
down
years
underneath
ago?
It's unfortunate because he was unfortunately never looked at as the best linebacker in the league because he wasn't at the time of him in the
Ray
league.
Lewis
He
was always a little bit better.
always a little bit better. Urlacher was always a little bit better. You had guys like even like Derek Brooks. Derek
Yep.
Brooks was in the league at the same time as him. He was better.
Junior
You know
Seau.
what I mean? Junior
Brian
Seau.
Brian Cox was still in the league
Yep.
at the time.
Hey, so Big Kev, have you ever heard the story about why Zach Thomas's head was square?
No.
Have you, Kohler?
No.
Oh, this is great. Chris knows it because I told it once before, but I'm
It's
gonna tell it again.
hilarious.
Everybody in comments can listen. When he was a kid, I think he was 8 or 9 years old, and his stepdad, he went outside and he fell down, and his stepdad backed out of the driveway and backed over his head and didn't know what he backed over, so he went back over it again. And for anybody that thinks I'm lying, I can find you the article that shows it with medical records of his skull being bent into a square, and that is why his head is square. He was literally run over twice by his stepdad in the same little situation. Pretty nuts.
So,
Went to Texas Tech and then came in.
you guys
badass
remember
in
a
the
couple
NFL.
years ago when Zach's boat sank and he had to swim all the way in like a couple miles?
What?
He was off the coast of Jupiter and his boat sank and he swam to shore to save his own life. We're talking like, I think it was 2 actual miles or something like that. Like it was miles that he swam back to save his own life.
Hey, everybody,
So,
the chat's doing it for us. But yeah, everybody, please go hit the like button. If I go look
Please,
at the
guys, hit the
ratio and
like
we got
button.
like 10 likes with 30 of y'all in here, come on.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
here's the
appreciate that, Joey.
stats. So here's the stats. Urlacher versus Thomas, face to face. Thomas played 184 games. Urlacher played 182. So it's basically identical.
Yep.
Zach Thomas had 60 more tackles. He had 313 more assisted tackles, which is a fuckload. Urlacher had 5 more interceptions. Zach Thomas had 5 more forced fumbles. Urlacher had 21 and a half more sacks.
That
And,
hurts.
Urlacher had 2 more touchdowns.
The interceptions.
Urlacher
to
had
touchdown.
2 more
Urlacher was-
touchdowns. How many
Yeah.
how many pick sixes did Urlacher have? Because I think some of those are fumble recoveries.
I don't know.
Because I
Or
think Zach has
Thomas
them
has
on
4 total
pick sixes.
touchdowns.
I think.
Thanks, Lucky.
That's what it says.
I don't know.
But Zach Thomas was a five-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. Urlacher was a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler.
And then somebody in the comments
Four-team
said,
All-Pro, 4-time All-Pro.
4-team first-team All-Pro. Zach Thomas was 5. Zach had 7 Pro Bowls. Brian Urlacher had 8.
So
very identical stats.
Somebody wanted you to put in the stats of Zach Thomas to Ray Lewis, but we won't disrespect Zach like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
it's not even close.
Well, Ray Lewis didn't come on till a little bit later as far as the snaps he got anyhow, but Ray Lewis's career was
he was always like 20 to 30 tackles. No, it wasn't even that much. It was like 10 to 20 tackles more than Zach Thomas every year, but Zach Thomas was always
what he brought to the game was unlike any other linebacker. That intensity,
well,
talking to the quarterback before, like no one else did it like that.
Yeah, that's where Zach
besides Lawrence Taylor did.
Yes. If
Zach
did a little bit more pizzazz, he would have already got in. If he, did post-game interviews, if Zach was Channing Crowder, he'd be in right now.
To answer Lucky U's question in chat, it's more a question of who is not in the Hall of Fame from the 72 team. That's the better question.
Yeah, I know, right?
Check that out.
What's up, CT?
I mean, I think you got Jake Scott, Nick Bonicatti, Larry Zonka, Don Shula himself.
Everybody's in that bad boy.
Gosh, I can't think of somebody that's not in.
Well, I agree. I just think that I want to speak specifically on Zach Thomas's. Not only did he have comparative numbers to all these other Hall of Famers, but nobody wants to appreciate the fact that he did it as a prototypical middle linebacker. He was undersized. He was under a lot of different issues, both scheme wise, because yes, having Jason Taylor and the dominant pass rush we had in that circumstance, it also left him more susceptible to runs up the middle because they were going outside and they were flushing or
everything was
taking looping. No, they were pushing loopingly toward the quarterback. And the fact that he did that, it disengaged from blocks and played as well as he did at his undersized frame, I feel like people need to put respect on Zach Thomas's name.
Hey, real quick, and Ronnie, because I don't want to disagree with that. I just want to a comment. Ronnie said Mercury Morris and Jim Kick are not in the Hall of Fame. If you go to, I think it's the Finsider or something like that. I'll find the exact article. But my dad actually contributed to an article about Jim Kick on their website and how pivotal he was to the championship.
So here we go. Real quick. There's not. This is the entire list for all 10 Dolphins that are in the Hall of Fame. Coach Don Shula, Bob Greasy, Dan Marino, Larry Zonka, Paul Warfield, Larry Little, Jim Langer, Dwight Stevenson, Jason Taylor, and Nick Bonicatti. Those are the 10 Miami Dolphin Hall of Famers.
The one guy that I'm pissed off, just because he wasn't good with the media, that's not in the Hall of Fame is Bob Kuchenberg. Cooch.
Yeah.
Down here in Dallas.
Go ahead.
Down here in Dallas. Hang on, CT. I was going to say, and you can comment on both, but down here in Dallas, the biggest snub that I've seen is Darren Harper. I don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Because of criminal stuff.
But the number two that I want to bring up is there is no way. I am sorry, but Zach Thomas needs to be in there. That's obvious. But there is no way that the best left tackle in Dolphins history is not in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
Richmond Webb.
Yeah.
Richmond Webb
Both of them.
The bar, bro. Richmond Webb set the bar.
And for
Richmond Webb and Zach Thomas to not be in the NFL is an absolute travesty. It's a travesty.
Chris, could I say something about Zach real quick? Actually,
yeah, go ahead, buddy.
I can't remember which of these two guys said it, but it was either Dan Morgan or what's his name? Luke Kuechly said if it wasn't for Zach Thomas, they would have never been playing the linebacker position and stuff like that. The impact that he had.
Lost you there, Tony.
The linebacker position in aspect. Huh?
You're kind of
Can you hear
cutting
me?
out a little, Tony. Yeah,
Can you
you're
hear me?
sounding better now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying is Kuechly and Morgan said if it wasn't for Zach Thomas, they wouldn't have been playing the Zach linebacker position. I understand.
Boycott the Hall of Fame.
Hey, hang on real quick.
Yeah.
Me and Kevin and I are about to hop off. We're trying to get Chris's attention, but we're gonna hop out of here. It was fun talking this betting.
Yeah,
all the
absolutely.
bets. I'm gonna
All right,
talk
guys.
to you on Sunday, Kevin, to see how many you actually bet.
Yeah, guys, make sure you. I want to know what you guys bet on before the Super Bowl, so comment in there. Let us know what's going on.
Tell
Zach
us
Thomas
if you
should be in
guys
the Hall
see
of Fame. Don't
something.
get me wrong. I'm not defending him not being in the Hall of Fame. All I'm saying is he was the third best linebacker in the league.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
it.
He was never.
He should have been.
He
should have been there over Urlacher to begin with.
Yeah,
I
Urlacher
agree.
went to Super Bowl.
That's my point. Period. And
All right, y'all. Peace.
Yeah, because now they put
Later,
that
y'all.
Urlacher. See you guys. Now they put that Urlacher context on there. It makes it hard. All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick intermission. Stay on screen, guys, because we'll pop right back into it, and we'll have successfully transitioned into late night color commentary. So just let the countdown happen, and we'll be right into it, guys. Oh shit! Haha! Too quick. Hold on.
I see my seats.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to part 2. This is now color commentary. We're going to slide little booyah up in the corner over there. Before we get going, guys, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, do us the favor, hop over to YouTube, subscribe, hit the like. Also, guys, make sure to check in the description. We are now partnered with Fanatics. If you guys want to, also, we have these microphones on there. If you guys are interested in my microphone, you can hit the link. You can buy the microphone. We're doing partnerships with several of these outfits on Fanatics. Fanatics, you can buy any and every sports gear you could ever want. That includes hats, jerseys, memorabilia of all sorts for every sport, NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA, you name it, they got it. Hit the link below. Let them know the guys from the Finn's Tailgate send you. It helps us grow the channel. And guys, before we kind of, and we already have several of you guys already in here, but before we open it up, I know Color wanted to kind of set the, what's up, EM? What's up, God Soldier? What's up, guys? And also, yes, thank you. Make sure to hit the like button, Miss Finns. Thank you so much, Jolie. So Color, I kind of want to give you your show and get the hell out of your way, first of all. And at the same time, I know you had something precedented, because here we were talking about the Super Bowl, and it kind of hinges on a bit of an argument. And guys, and I'm gonna help Color with a little bit of context. You know, we're not Dolphins fans that disapprove of things. We don't disapprove of the coach. We don't disapprove of the quarterback. All we're doing is adding context of why, I don't know, Color, what would I say? Why we need the context? Am I right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
it's a little bit too much blind faith in some ways. So go ahead, Color. I'll step out of your way.
So mainly, I just wanted to also point out that the NFL, you know, we have to remember sometimes why we love this league so much. There is absolutely no shortage of drama, storylines that can be had. I mean, you have got to love the NFL. And what I wanted to do was to talk about this ongoing debate that I see sparked up all the time between and you see it in the media a lot. It's almost become platitude now that the Belichick disciples have all failed and aren't successful. And so we like to say that nobody so far has, from the Belichick tree, you know, has accomplished anything. And I just know, I started to think about it, and it really boils down to, again, what our own individual definition or expectations are for success. And so if we measure success in the NFL based on Super Bowl champions, then we would have to say, and I'm going to say for the record, that the Shanahan tree that everybody loves to covet so much has exactly the same number of accomplishments as the Belichick tree. And there could be a myriad of different reasons for that. But I think that we've witnessed firsthand as Dolphin fans, one of the reasons why the idea is throughout the media and everywhere that the Shanahan tree is more successful or should be more coveted. And first, I want to point out that as much as we love watching the style of football, as much as it, you know, scores points and gets the championship games and, you know, goes deep every year, and on multiple different teams, we've seen that. Obviously culminating in the LA Rams with Sean McVay making it to their second Super Bowl. But again, they've fallen short. And I wanted to examine, you know, why that is, or let's say why it is that they seem to be able to get right on the brink and look more successful than anybody from the Belichick tree. And yeah, I just wanted to point out for those that are just joining us that weren't around for the Cashin Tickets show, my Dolphin is upside down right now in protest because of the Zach Thomas debacle. I think we all agree that somebody should be a Hall of Famer right now.
Color.
Well,
yes,
hold on,
go
Tony.
ahead.
Let him finish up, Tony. Go ahead, Color.
Sure. So I just wanted to kind of give a little synopsis on why I think that we need to reevaluate what we think about the different football coaching trees, and you know how whether they can be successful, how they can be successful, and why some are not. Because the biggest pushback I get from most people is that the Shanahan tree is more successful. And again, it just depends on how you define that success. Are they in front of us more? Yeah. Do they score more? Do they get to more, deeper into the playoffs? Yeah. But again, it goes back to the question of what you can ultimately accomplish with mediocrity and a system to develop that mediocrity, as opposed to just having elite players and champions on your team. And so we can look at all if you look at we'll call them the trunks of the trees. First, Bill Belichick. And then I also wanted to point out that in everybody's talk about all these different coaches from the Shanahan tree and how successful they are, and how every up and coming owner wants to tap that pool. I would say that there's only one Shanahan that has any Super Bowl success in the entire Shanahan tree, and that's also the trunk, Mike Shanahan, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Now, obviously, Belichick has 6, but we'll go ahead and be conservative on that and only attribute 3 of them to him, because we all know Tom Brady is good for at least 3 of those championships. So that being aside, you could look at them, each trunk, as fairly equal, fairly comparable when it comes to success in the Super Bowl. So the one thing I want to point out, though, is that it's my contention that the Belichick tree has seen less immediate success, we'll call it, eye test success, whatever you want to call it. And I think that the reason for that is their owner. I really do believe that the reason Belichick has been so successful in 20 years, aside from having a Hall of Fame quarterback, is that Kraft understands the Belichick coaching style. And what I mean by Kraft understands the Belichick coaching style is that when you take a guy like Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia, and even Brian Flores, you see a certain coaching style that, first of all, Stephen Ross thought was something that we needed here, because it's something we had been lacking for so long, since probably Shula. And what happens is I think these guys come in, and because they all are wearing Super Bowl rings from the Belichick trunk, and they all have that coaching style, people say that, oh, well, Belichick keeps it close to his chest, so we can't expect anybody to leech success off of that. But I beg to differ, because I think that Brian Flores came down to Miami and brought the same brand of football, hard-nosed, defense first, team mentality, this idea that, I mean, let's just be honest, it didn't rub people the right way in the building. We'll at least say that. And what I think happens a lot of times is these owners that are not Robert Kraft, they don't like that. And let's face it, billionaires don't like to be don't like confrontation. That's just, they're living in a world where nobody touches them, nobody says bad things to them, nobody is abrasive to them. But Kraft, I would argue, comes from the world of the blue collar mentality at the very least. And so he understands that, and he allowed Bill Belichick to spread his wings. He allowed him to say, hey, look at even the way it's reported that he treated Tom Brady. And so what I'm trying to say is that the Belichick trunk is a successful way of coaching and has proven to be Super Bowl winner. Shanahan, on the other hand, and not even on the other hand as far as the trunk goes, because if you look at the trunk of the Shanahan tree, Mike, who does have 3 Super Bowl championships, I would argue that Mike Shanahan would probably have been fired quicker than Brian Flores in Miami. Because in all of this, what we've lost sight of is that in order to win a Super Bowl, it takes a certain coaching style, consistent Super Bowl. 3 times in the case of Mike Shanahan, 6 times in the case of Bill Belichick. But when it comes down to it, the only success for both trees is in their trunk. And I would also argue that if Mike Shanahan, I think he's already passed away. I can't remember. But if he were here today to, let's say, evaluate a person like Brian Flores, I think that he probably would have agreed with his coaching style and had another owner besides Kraft, and we'll leave Ross out of this on a personal level. If another owner besides Kraft could see the forest from the trees and allow these Belichick disciples to have the leverage, the leash, let's call it, that the Shanahan disciples have had, we may actually see more success and, dare I say, Super Bowl success. Because in all of this, all of the stuff we've seen from the Shanahan tree has amounted to this many championships. 0.
Unless it changes this weekend.
And so, right. and so that leads me to my introduction about the NFL. You have absolutely got to love this league, because after illustrating all of what I just said, my entire narrative is destroyed if the Rams win Sunday. If the Bengals win Sunday, then everything I just told you guys is completely vindicated. And we can go on to say that while they look great doing it, all they really do is look better not getting rings. And so
I know
some people have pushed back on me and said that Zach Taylor is part of the Shanahan tree, but I would say that is not actually true.
Yeah.
He did spend a minute in Los Angeles with McVay, but for the most part, Zach Taylor is of the Joe Philbin tree, the Miami Dolphins tree. His offensive coordinator is Bill Lazor. And so if the Bengals win Sunday, then we are continuing to see the Shanahan coaches, the disciples, get right to the brink, but never actually win. And I would submit to you that it's because that very system is designed for consistent success in the playoffs, but much like Ryan Tannehill is just not a Super Bowl winner. And I'll leave it. I'll conclude with that, and you guys can just converge on me, because I know it's gonna.
Well, I'll start it off real quick, because when Color came to me with this, I would say, what was it, Monday? It started really coming to you, and you're like, "Yo, I got to open the show with something like this." He made a valid point, because what we're talking about is, if you guys want to look at it, it's 2 ways to really win the ring. It's not so cut and dry, but my point is that it's an elite quarterback, or it's a system that's elite that works. And it's not so cut and dry as that, but it really, if Burrow wins, if the Bengals win, it'll be because they got the best quarterback on the field. If the Rams win, it'll be because they've got a great system, a great coach, a bunch of great players, great defense, great this, great that. But
and I would still say that it took 5 disciples to finally eke out a Super Bowl win.
That's
even
right.
If the Rams do win Sunday.
And I mean, just look at how much has changed by one player. I mean, you could take Burrow and insert anyone other than like Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and that's probably it that I could think off the top of my head that would be in the Super Bowl right now with that roster. Even Aaron Rodgers has had rosters that are better, defenses that are better, and hasn't gotten to the game. And I get it that it's not all been Burrow, but that's how important that one player is my point. And
my thought also is, Chris, when you highly diversify the collaboration, the collaborative efforts and all of that, what I'm thinking is that as far as Super Bowl success and long-term success, there are too many cogs in the wheel. There are too many people that when you're standing there watching Brady and Belichick hoist the trophy, there are too many people you look back on your own squad and say, man, if that guy didn't fail at his job, or if that guy didn't fail at his job. Whereas with the Patriots, you have one guy
yeah, I mean,
to fail at his job, and that's Belichick.
I don't know.
he
I mean,
doesn't
Brady,
fail.
I don't
Brady
know
kind
about
of
that.
Brady
I know
Brady
it's-
really pushed him over the
get,
edge. I mean, look at
what
the
you're
weapons
saying, Chris.
Brady was
I
working
meant to
with.
say, I just meant to say, there's one chef in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
I got you.
There's
Well, I get
there's
that
only
part,
one
but
person
the
to make the
issue-
food taste bad.
What's up, CT?
And I agree. No, I agree with what you guys are saying. My only issue with that is there are, again, whether all through Belichick's disciples, including Brian Flores, granted, he was only one win away from being 500. But no other offspring of that Bill Belichick tree. It's not about just Super Bowls. It's about overall winning record. And none of them have a winning record, a sub above 500 average as coaches. Granted, I do think that there's an argument to be made, whether, the racism and whatever you want to call it. There are subsequent situations where maybe guys didn't get an extra year that they should have.
I
Does that make sense?
But real quick, CT, I'd also say that how many of those organizations that those coaches went to were so rock bottom that they were bringing in a Belichick disciple in the first place.
Yeah, to build a culture.
I mean, again, you said it yourself. Flores was win away from 500. So now we're holding him responsible for a purposely tanked team.
No, I don't, and that's what I'm saying.
Which
Shanahan disciple has walked into a decimated organization and won in their first year? Which one of them?
So
every one of them have taken over the reins of something that was built by a Belichick disciple or a non-Shanahan disciple.
So McVay taking over the Rams came from which disciple of Belichick?
Well,
that team was built by Jeff Fisher.
No. You said every one of them took over.
He did preface after that. He said, or somebody else. Okay.
No. I didn't hear that part. My fault. But I agree. But I think that in that same circumstance, every coach in the league, especially the younger guys, I think McDaniel in our situation is a little bit different and unique. But most guys do. They take over rock bottom teams that have, I hate to say it, but no other choice. They're like,
revisionist history likes to hold them responsible for their first year at said team. And I don't see a Shanahan disciple walking into a situation that isn't ready to drive.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is if their overall records, and most of them filled out 3 years, if not the full 4-year contract. And
that's my point.
They haven't added up to that. So
that's
4 years.
Owners that are not like Kraft don't have they turn around, they don't fulfill the contract, and they hold them responsible for the first year that they came in where the team was decimated. You don't get that treatment to the Shanahan tree. As a matter of fact, I'd like to point out that with what we found, what's been discovered over the last week, as far as regarding the Mike McDaniel hire, it seems to me that our head coach was just suffered from a coup from the Shanahan tree.
Nice, brother.
Because now you've got a team that Brian Flores built.
Because that
Mike McDaniel can walk right into, and if he has success, he's going to get the credit for.
Well, I get that part of it,
I'm just saying that you're talking about the difference between a car that's ready made for a driver as opposed to a Chevette that you expect him to coach to come in and make a Camaro.
No, I'm not. No. Don't try to. No. I agree with what you're saying. Hold on.
Go ahead.
All
Mike.
I'm trying to no, real quick. All I'm trying to say is I agree. I'm not saying that some guys take credit for a predecessor, but it also speaks volumes that if McDaniel can't bring in the right staff, we're going to experience another one of those quote unquote rebuilding years. So we're going to see that regression. And if we see that regression, then we can make the assumption that it was Flores or it was the player situation or whatever. I'm just not going to put all my eggs in one basket and say, if he doesn't come out and perform at Flores's level, that all of a sudden, there's a coup of this and a coup of that. I think, again, Ross and Greer have made the mistake of going with an inexperienced coach. What I've said all along, I want an experienced guy. So I think I'm glad you
transitioned it. I'm glad you transitioned it to Mike McDaniel, because nowhere in my synopsis about the Shanahan tree did I even mention Mike McDaniel's name or how it pertains to us in our current situation with a Shanahan disciple. However, since you did make that transition, we can go ahead and go there.
Mike McDaniel is a part of the Shanahan tree.
I understand that, but that wasn't my point in bringing up the Shanahan tree. My point was to illustrate that despite what everybody sees in front of their eyes, they have just as much success as the Belichick disciples, if we are to measure that success as a Super Bowl win.
Yeah, and I'm seeing people in the chat going, I'd rather take 10 years of relevance
the only
and things like
thing
that.
Is,
that's what matters is the
But see,
Super
that's
Bowl
where
ring.
we're at, because we keep saying we'd
so
rather take 10 years of relevance, but we haven't been relevant going at that way with that thought.
Yeah, I don't want
Teams,
that.
it's
Super Bowl or bust.
You guys got to remember,
Crypto
the
says
teams that are consistently relevant are what are known as Super Bowl contenders.
Yep.
That doesn't mean they get to the Super Bowl every year. But to be consistently relevant, you have to be able to contend in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. Tony's had his hand raised, Alex. I want to hear from Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Color, I wanted to answer your question. You know the reason why it seems like these Shanahan disciples are more successful and Super Bowl contenders, even though they haven't won Super Bowls, is because they're not trying to copy. They're not trying to be Mike or Kyle. They want to be their own people. It seems like these Belichick guys want to be too much like Belichick that they don't want to develop their own personalities.
But see, then
do you agree?
Then why do we give them the credit for being Shanahans?
Because
if they're not implementing a Mike Shanahan philosophy, why do we call them Shanahans then?
I tell you,
why do we credit Mike Shanahan for their success when they don't have any success? We don't credit Bill Belichick for Matt Patricia's success because Matt Patricia doesn't have any success. And if we're measuring going to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl perennially and losing as success, then yeah, I guess they're more successful than the Belichick tree. But I would also submit,
let me clarify.
If any one of those Belichick disciples were walked into a car that was ready to drive, I think that they would have the same level of success that we are seeing the Shanahan.
Yeah, he's saying if it was a Belichick disciple taking this team on, they're the same inevitable outcome, whether it's relevance or whatever the bar has been set lower to, because I think that's a real big problem in the franchise. Is that our bar is set lower now, guys, and that's not
teams that went to these other. If these teams,
Chris, I want to clarify what I meant.
Wait a minute, Tony.
Please.
Wait a minute. If these teams that these other Belichick disciples went to had owners like Robert Kraft, we might see 5-year stints where people do correct their mistakes or fix things as they're building a team from scratch because they're the only ones that seem to be required to do that when they get another coaching job.
So let Tony clarify, then throw to Alex, and then I want to say, oh, well, first of all, Colin, did you get that off the Fanatics thing on there? Did you click on the Fanatics to get that, dog?
Bro, I
I
know y'all can see a little bit of my room, but bro, I'm a big Fanatics guy, man. Fanatics is the only place.
Brother.
If you're gonna get something that's real, you better go on Fanatics.
That's right, dude. They got good stuff, brother. They do. That's awesome, man. Go ahead, Tony. Clarify what you got, dog. Tony, you got to get that microphone hooked up too, dog. You sound like the robot man, you know.
No, I'm talking. It's not my fault. iPad microphones can be unreliable a little bit. But Color, what I was trying to say.
Go in the link in the description and buy one of those microphones, dog. Hook you up with one of these bad man pajamas. Watch this. That's so nice. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay, what I was trying to say, Color, I'm not evaluating on the success they have. I'm talking about that these Belichick coaches are trying to be too much like Belichick, that they refuse to develop their own personalities. At least
I get what you're saying, Tony. I get what you're saying, but the style that you're talking about has 6 Super Bowl rings. Why wouldn't they?
You could say the same style.
Why wouldn't they bring that style to the team they're going to?
Well, Color, I'll tell you this. The reason why is the only way, and this is my profession, the only way athletes buy in is if you're going to be successful. You can tell them everything they want to hear. You can try to say, I want to help them all you want. All they care about are results. If you want to treat them like dogs, Color, wait. Real quick, just if you want to treat them like dogs, but if you give them a championship every year, they're willing to accept being treated like dogs as long as you bring them championships. If you're not bringing them championships, they're not willing to deal with that.
Again, how many championships has the Shanahan tree brought anybody?
No, I'm not saying that part of it. I'm saying as far as Flores.
That's the only point I'm making right there. That's how many they've brought.
Yeah, that's the only point he's making, that it hasn't amounted to Super Bowl victories.
So when they tell these players you're talking about, I'm going to bring a championship, where's it at?
It's not saying one tree is better than the other. It's the same stump, because none of them
I was commenting on Color saying that was the culture and bringing in that circumstance of them replicating Bill Belichick. The problem is if you're not delivering like Bill Belichick, you're not going to replicate that the same way.
If they had a ready-made team like the Shanahans always walk into, they would bring that success.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When McVay walked into the Rams, he didn't really have a ready team. Right there.
They also had an owner that backed them up in their coaching style. They might,
but it doesn't change the fact that when McVay went to the Rams,
God, soldier, success is absolutely based on a Super Bowl, my brother. That's the only thing that matters in this game.
Prize in the NFL.
That's it,
so,
brother.
Chris, let me ask you this.
Relevant. It's not about stats. It's not about gold jackets. It's about us in the streets screaming our heads off in a parade style because we won.
It's literally the only prize this league has.
That's
Color,
it.
In your opinion right now,
but
do you think that who's had more success, the Belichick disciples or the Shanahan disciples?
Neither have had success. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what he's saying, bro. It's nobody, because the measure of success is the Super Bowl.
I'm going to debunk you right there, because McVay has been to the Super Bowl.
Didn't win it.
Marino's
the measure of success is
Marino's been to the Super Bowl.
It does not matter. As long if you're
Was
there,
he a success?
If you're there, then that's a success.
No, bro. There's no participation trophy in the NFL.
Yeah, but you have to understand, I don't care about – you have to consider that there are circumstances to every situation. You can't say that if a team that is absolute garbage with the new coach. And just like Color wanted to make the comparison of, bringing in a new guy, whether it's Belichick or Shanahan, into a lesser team and them having to build a Super Bowl champion. So you're going to dictate if one person who takes on maybe a top 20 team versus the worst team in the NFL, that you're going to hold them to the same standard that if you don't win the Super Bowl, it's not a success. That is not always true. There are circumstances where if you have a crap team that won 3 or 4 games, if you come out the next season, show growth, show, all the development of the players that you have, good acquisitions and free agency, but you only win 8 games. To say that's not a success is ridiculous.
Well, that's
then
not the
stop
measure
saying
that
that
he put
Brian
on it.
Flores isn't a success because he did exactly what you just described. He did
I didn't
exactly
say
what you just
that
described.
Flores. I didn't say that Flores was a bad coach.
No. I'm not
on the
saying you
field.
did. I'm not
he's
saying
talking,
you
I know.
He's
did.
talking in
Yeah.
the proverbial.
I'm simply you're feeding right into my point because there is not one Shanahan disciple that walked into a decimated team. We'll never know if they would suffer the same fate as the Belichick.
Are you guys done? Are you guys done arguing like little bitches? Just wanted to know.
Oh shit, Big John, bring it. What do you got?
What up, bro? How you doing?
What's up,
Big John? Bring it. What up,
I
Big John?
text you, bro. Hit me back.
What up, Big John?
And no, I'm not done arguing like a little bitch. In case you didn't know whose logo's in the top corner there, I'm not done arguing like a little bitch.
I heard you. I'm sorry. I was
Big
listening
John
to
got
you.
in trouble.
I wasn't listening to him. I'm afraid of you. I'm not afraid of him. I'm sorry.
Trouble. He's like, you calling people bitches? No, ma'am.
No, it wasn't. No, it
Nah,
wasn't.
he said he was afraid of Color, but he ain't afraid of me. I got you, Big
no
John.
reason
We
to be
good?
afraid of
We
me,
good?
man. I'm afraid of Big John.
I'm afraid of OG.
I'm afraid of Big John too. I ain't even saying that.
Color.
I'm afraid of
single
myself.
thing.
I've always respected your opinion, my boy. All right, Color. I've always respected your opinion, and you know what? I respect you as a man, but I have to. I mean, I'm gonna say is that Shanahan's tree has been to the Super Bowl. Belichick has not been there. A lot of Belichick's disciples have losing records. The only one that's really has not had a losing record was Bill O'Brien. At 45
So
to 37.
10-6 is a losing record. 9-8
Yeah,
is a losing record.
No, I'm talking about total. Oh,
Total. So, okay. So again, we're holding Flores responsible for year 1 again. Okay.
Can I?
Well,
Which Shanahan coach has walked into a decimated football team? Name it.
It
Can I
really
talk?
doesn't matter because it's wins, losses, whatever. I wouldn't.
In 2019, you have no choice but to have
Right.
him
So
as the first year.
name the team that was
What's up,
decimated that a Shanahan disciple walked into. Name it.
The Rams.
There's been
The Rams
were an absolute mess.
Were already built by Jeff
My mama's
Fisher.
house.
No, they were
Fisher
an absolute mess.
Jeff Fisher's
It
team
was-
was not-
it was a
not-
Wait a minute
mess.
now. Wait a minute.
The only thing they had was the
I'm going to
quarterback.
challenge you on that because I actually followed the Rams for 10 years that I was living in St. Louis. Jeff Fisher absolutely built that squad in L.A.
Oh no, he definitely built that defense. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but again, the same circumstance on multiple teams is one guy can come in and build half a team. The problem is when does the guy come in and build the full team and make them successful? That is the difference.
And I would submit that neither one of them have done that.
I agree. I'm not that again. I think that both of them have.
Either tree has broken down a team to 0 and then brought it back up to a
You
Super
can't
Bowl
even say
contender.
what
Not
0
one has done
is
that
either,
from either
because
tree.
you could take a guy could take a team with its roster and just play a different scheme with better coaching and win something. I think the
Pepper in a
bottom
Matt
line is this.
Stafford here and there.
The bottom line is this. Neither tree has produced rings. Neither one. Now this narrative changes Sunday if it changes, because
That's all I was laying out is what's on the line Sunday.
Yeah.
I
You know,
just want to.
on Monday we'll return to this, and I'll probably be eating
Chris,
crow.
you gotta put that comment back up, man. Aquavision.
No, but so Color, I want to ask you this, and this is an interesting question for me, and I want everybody's opinion. Is so we think about the Rams winning the Super Bowl, and we go back to something that was brought up earlier. How is it that we're gonna put in position taking on an offensive role, defensive role, staff-wise, whatever you want to bring in? The difference of a guy who has some type of personality versus a guy who had none.
All right. I want to get Big John's because that's a whole nother. I don't even want to open that can of worms, CT. That's not what this discussion is about. Go ahead, Big John. I want to get your comments on what we've been discussing, man.
Oh no, I haven't heard any other conversation. I just came on for you to explain it to me, but since you guys are fighting, I don't understand.
No, we're not fighting. I just wanted to know.
We're not fighting. We're just
serious question.
having a funny argument.
Okay, let me. No, well, since you guys are expressing your opinion so emphatically, please explain to me what the conversation is about.
Go ahead.
Actually,
Color.
So Big John, we're discussing we're comparing the Belichick tree of coaching disciples to the Shanahan tree, and trying to measure, first of all, set a standard for what we define as success, and secondly, if that success is Super Bowl, then I had postulated that the Shanahan tree, while looking better doing it, has just looked better not getting rings, just like the Belichick tree. That the only rings that either one has is in the trunk with Mike Shanahan and with Bill Belichick.
Which I agree 1,000% with Color with. So I wasn't arguing.
Color, to answer your question about
I wanted Big John's comments on that real quick.
I understand about the trunks, and the trunks going to be heavier on the side of the Patriots. But if that aside, this guy, if it was me, I would pick the Shanahan side over the Belichick side, because to me, apart from Belichick, and I'm not even including Brian Flores in this, because like you said, if you're gonna sit there and ask the guy to tank and then compare his record, it's pretty fucked up. So I'm not gonna even include that. To me, I think that the other side lately has done better. I don't really know. Even Bill O'Brien, if you compare Bill O'Brien and compare the rest of the Shanahan tree, they've been more successful than Bill O'Brien.
No doubt.
Well, and that I can't disagree, because I personally can't stand Bill O'Brien.
But you were arguing with me 5 minutes ago.
Now, if we're going to add in a totality and include the trunks and see which one's heavier, obviously, whether they deflated footballs or not, whether they cheated or not, they have, 6 or 7, and they don't have as many, so that would go to Belichick. But I mean,
okay, let me ask you real quick, Big John.
No, that goes to Belichick.
Big John, just answer this question for me. Who do you think Mike Shanahan would choose based on his coaching style and what he views as a successful coaching style? Do you think Mike Shanahan himself would choose somebody from the Belichick tree or from his own tree?
I think he would say Bill Belichick. That's it.
Right. That's kind of my That's what I'm saying. He would choose the style that hasn't been successful everywhere else besides.
I think we just need to find a way to do what they've kind of done, though. They've got a Belichick defense and a Shanahan offense. If they can maintain that Belichick defense from the Belichick disciple and then maneuver it with a Shanahan offense, all we are now is building a team on both sides of the ball. And if we roll the dice,
Chris, don't make me drool.
If we roll the dice and Tua takes the step, or another quarterback comes walking through the building.
Exactly.
Sorry, John.
And that's where I think a lot. No, my bad. I just want to say that's where I have the issue with everybody in the Tua conversation, the defense conversation, the team conversation overall. It's, man, if we can get this team humming every other which way, with the middle linebacker, offensive line improvement. And if Tua's not the guy, bro, throw him out by the fucking ear. Grab him by the ear and throw him out. I got no problem with
the record. Can I
but
just?
man,
I
want somebody who can build a
as
team.
An example for the record of how Tua gets brought into a subject where nobody else was talking about Tua.
Yeah, CT, nice
but
going.
Yet we get accused of
no.
about Tua being trash.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
No, because I brought it up. I brought it up on this show 3 days ago, Color, and we talked about it. And they asked about the offensive coordinator and all that BS.
I'd rather talk about quarterbacks that actually know how to play the game.
Can I say something?
Oh, well,
brandishing a weapon. He's got a weapon. Go ahead, John.
He's got it, but I'm not going to get the time, obviously. So go ahead, bitch.
So I mean, but again, we can litigate Tua if you want to have another show about Tua again, like we keep doing, then that's fine. But
no, it doesn't talk about Tua. The point I was making, no, Big John. The point I was making is that, Color, 3 days ago we talked about this. I had the concern with Mike McDaniel coming in, and Chris knows this. I said it about having a experienced guy on the offensive side of the ball that would take some of that pressure off of McDaniel, but also having an experienced defensive coordinator to take some of that pressure off of Mike McDaniel. I see the hire of Embry, who has 24.
Our last coach. How come nobody wanted to take pressure off of our last coach for his lack of offensive prowess?
I think that I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that's where I hope that things are different between Flores and his offensive choices.
Is what you're saying. The Shanahan disciples get crutches. And that's the
no,
point
I didn't say. Oh, my God. Color. All I was saying is I'm excited about the fact that Joe Embry has 24 plus years experience.
Man. This was not about the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel. This was the fact that the Shanahans need crutches to see the success that we've seen.
Okay, can I talk now?
No, the focus is we all want the Dolphins to win, and let's talk about the here and the now, not what could, if, should have, would have, could have.
Talking about Mike McDaniel. We weren't even talking about Mike McDaniel.
We are, because you brought up Mike McDaniel's tree, the Shanahan tree, and Belichick's tree. And because our new coach, our new coach, Mike McDaniels, is part of the Shanahan tree, it makes it an inclusive conversation.
If you want to make this about Mike McDaniel, then we can. And it makes the Shanahan tree look even worse because he hasn't even had a chance to prove me wrong. Okay, so let's stop talking about McDaniel. It has nothing to do with him. This conversation never even had anything to do with whether he's going to be successful in Miami.
Okay.
This has to do with whether the Shanahan tree is actually successful or not in comparison to the Belichick tree. And I've
already said win-wise, no, championship-wise, there's no difference. But win-wise, there's a huge disparity between the Shanahan tree and the Belichick tree.
You guys done?
Yeah, that's a fair point. But again, we can litigate why that is.
I love you, Color. Hey, I love you, Color. It's no disrespect. We're Dolphins fans, man.
And because they have a crutch everywhere they go, they look better and get more wins. That's what I postulated from the beginning.
Listen, bro, I have a crutch too. My dick is like 8 feet long and it keeps me upright. Now, can I talk?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, go ahead, Big John.
Oh, shit.
All right. Now, if it was me, I don't give a flying fuck. I'll burn both of the goddamn trees down because since we have an offense from Shanahan and a defense, if we keep it from Belichick, we would be like the Librid hiking from Underworld. So we can make our own tree. How about that?
Well, good point, John, because the trees we've already built are about to challenge the Shanahan tree this Sunday with Bill Lazor.
Well, if I burn it, no.
Zach
If
Taylor.
I burn it, I don't want to. To me, there's no tree. I just burned it down. It died.
Oh, I got you. I'm just pointing out that
that it died.
The saviors of my narrative are from the Philbin tree.
I love Chris.
Ironically,
yeah, the Philbin tree.
Because
which came from the Holmgren tree,
Zach Taylor,
which came from the
Wall Street,
the
Miami Dolphins. You know what I mean?
Don't bring up Philbin's name. That's heartbreaking. No.
His tree is in the Super Bowl right now.
Stop it. That's heartbreaking. Stop.
His limbs.
CT, I'm not trying to single you out or dog on you. What I'm saying. The only reason I brought up this discussion was to point out how brilliant the NFL can be as something as entertainment to watch, because all of what I'm talking about, my entire narrative hinges on what happens Sunday.
I agree. I love your opinion. I just said that,
you know,
I do agree. There's so many, but bringing up Philbin
destroys my entire narrative.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
I love Chris. I love you, Chris. Chris is great. I love your opinion. I just want to agree with it.
Bringing up Philbin just hurts the heart.
That was a waste of
something to think about while we're watching.
So great of a roster.
You know, CT,
so great of a roster.
It was just something for everybody to think about Sunday, since the game is always so boring for us Dolphin fans. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree. I'm just saying it's heartbreaking because looking back at the roster and how he handled it, it makes my heart hurt. It makes my heart.
And so obviously I'm going for the Bengals all the way.
That's not going to happen, but okay.
No, maybe
not. So there's a lot to talk about. You need the Shanahan tree to die, Cutler.
No, you don't want it to die. He's just making.
I'm trying to chop it down one branch at a time. It's like a hydra.
He's bringing the argument though.
I'll use this metaphor, okay? The limbs off of the Belichick tree are frail and hollow. The limbs off of the Shanahan tree are at least a stronger limb that you could probably put a swing on. But they haven't flowered. They haven't flowered into Super Bowl rings.
Chris, bringing facts, bro.
Chris,
bringing the analogy.
You missed what I was saying.
That was a good one. Look at
Chris. Even you missed what I was saying. Even you missed what I was saying. What I'm saying is,
I didn't miss
the seedlings from the Belichick tree.
You say you don't miss.
Get planted in stand, whereas the trees from the branches, for the seedlings from the Shanahan tree, get planted in nice, nurturing soil. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not going to.
It's already a base to work with.
You know what? But I put the same measure, and Anthony, I'll get to your question after this. I put the same measure on everyone that I put the same on Tua.
Exactly.
I get context. I get, lack of weapons, like offensive line, just, injuries. I'm sick of context. Just rise above and will yourself and be the baddest all the time out of everybody. That's how you win Super Bowls. You need everybody being badasses all the time. And although it could even not get and individual players, and I've said this a multitude of times, it wasn't about yards. In some ways it is. It's not about touchdowns. In some ways it is. It's more about, am I going to see what my eye test tells me is greatness? And I think in more ways than one, and I've always said this too, it's the third year evaluation from Tua, because in a lot of ways that first year we knew was a washout type of year because of the injury.
Just the same way
but everyone wants to either put in context or take away context for what they want to have happen. So in the argument of Flores being a loser coach, you put in the context his first year, when to me, that year doesn't count. The same way I'm doing that for Tua. The reason I judge Tua so harshly is this year. And
to illustrate your point, Chris, Zach Taylor in the regular season is 16-32-1. Postseason, he's 3-0.
Yes,
Right.
perfectly put. Perfect. Where it matters most is all I give a damn about, bro. That's where it matters
Yeah,
most.
it's are you clutch?
So,
Right,
Cutler, we
clutch,
need to
bro.
bring back
Are
Joe
you a
Philbin,
gamer?
Cutler.
But see, here's
I
the
don't
thing.
care how
Nobody's
much you
holding Zach
practice. I
Taylor
just need a gamer,
responsible
bro.
for the
Give me something
32.
good. Give me something good. Anthony asked, panel, do you guys think it seems like the Shanahan tree knows how to market themselves a lot better compared to the Belichick
That's a
tree?
great point. Great
I
point.
would
That's
very
kind of
good.
what I'm saying.
In the same way that Zach Thomas hasn't marketed himself because he's not pandering. There's no pandering from these guys.
Well,
And if there was pandering, it gets you away because everyone likes their ass kissed when they're above you. When you kiss no ass, it's just
And
how
that's
it goes.
where I'll give Robert Kraft credit because he's been able to be that billionaire that's like, let the coaches coach, let the players play. You know what I mean? If the players don't like it, even if you're Tom Brady, you're out of here.
You can go.
Time out.
Well, they've gotten used. They got enough rings out of Brady. They can just afford to let him go.
Go ahead, John. What's up?
Yeah, I gotta say something.
I'm sorry, but I have to, Chris. It's me. We gotta give Kraft credit because he was kissing asses, but it was prostitutes. All right? You gotta give it to him.
Whatever, dog. Those prostitutes shit out a couple of golden rings on his finger, apparently, bro.
Saying,
I wish somebody around here kissed some prostitute ass and get me a ring.
I don't care what stripper he kisses. I don't give it. I'm giving him credit.
Yeah, apparently the South Florida district judge is a Patriots fan because they expunged his record. They deleted everything to do with that
you
investigation.
Find that video on the internet and play it at your house. Some guys will come kicking your door in and they'll take away your computer. So that's how much they locked that shit up. What's up, Sharif?
Yeah, how's it going, Sharif?
How y'all guys doing, man?
What do you think about my synopsis about the Shanahan versus Belichick battle?
Well, I would say this to back that up. No one else interviewed him, even though Greer said he had substantial interviews above 7, which we talked about. Coaches from the college rank doesn't have to be disclaimed by the NFL or by the Dolphins. So clearly, Greer made all sorts of interviews for coaching. McDaniel
I've heard
got
that story
one
before
from the
too.
Dolphins. So McDaniel got his only one and he jumped at it. Good for him. But I thought it was interesting, guys, the press conference, when they asked him about, coming into, the facility and everything, he said, when he looked at Stephen Ross, he saw that he was a businessman. He likes to spend money. And then he went on, I think, and he's a long-winded talker, and that caused him. That wasn't a good PR move to say good, bad, or indifferent. Stephen Ross wants to win a championship. I thought he would have been fired right there. Because what is that saying? That's saying something about the lawsuit and the facts and the litigation.
He's willing to pay $100,000.
Let me tell you something. Roger Goodell knows something that we don't, because Roger Goodell say he will not tolerate it, and he's not going to tolerate. He doesn't care who it is.
Yeah, and by the way, Sharif, that was a 360 degree or 180 degree backpedal too by Roger Goodell, because remember the original statement the NFL put out. And then the guy comes out, the personal assistant comes out as the witness or whatever, and all of a sudden now Goodell is concerned about what's going on,
and all of a sudden,
wants to investigate.
That wasn't 180. He was
Goodell said that before
McDaniel's covering his butt. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Before the witness came
out.
I wonder though,
can't
guys.
Say be good, bad, or different. That was a bad statement.
But that was the PR move. That's the whole point. It's all PR move.
The owners are gonna protect. The owners are gonna protect him because they do not want the narrative where they vote one of their own out. Because then what'll happen is they could start clicking up on each other. Because let's get real, all these people are exactly that, people.
They'll have
what about the narrative?
There's no way.
What about the narrative? League-wide fire sale. Hold on, Crypto. What about the narrative that's created at that point that the 30 other owners are in cahoots with fixing all the betting?
First of all, I would expect nothing less. Less bunch of billionaires have some.
Well, you and I, of course, I'm talking about the general normie public.
Well, first of all, they're cleaning their act up because betting is it's already here. I mean, they got it. Like
What
again, I say it all the time.
If the 30 owners are seen to be protecting Ross, then
Well, listen, you got to
it's gonna look
remember
bad
they're
on
the
them.
ones
And
putting
that's a
out the
bad PR
narrative,
move.
bro. They're the ones.
Yeah,
putting
and
out the
and
narrative.
it's very telling to me that the fact that Ross and Greer were not answering questions. They would speak, but they weren't answering questions. But
Yeah.
the
Well,
fact that Mike McDaniel spoke on that issue in the very first question and the way he answered it, good and bad and indifferent, whatever, man, that is
He's covering his
absolutely
ass.
1000% PR bullshit, because he's not gonna say as a new coach, no, he didn't do anything wrong. But as a new coach, he's not gonna
You
tie
also
himself and
noticed.
say,
You also noticed.
"Oh, I don't know."
You
Do
also
you get what I'm
noticed
saying, though?
that
But he don't want to back
Ross
himself in no corner.
Yeah,
Ross
that's
made it very
exactly.
clear.
That was his way of playing the limbo. Does that
But
make sense?
Ross made it very clear
Mhm.
that hey, it's me. It's and the head coach reports to Chris Greer, and then Chris Greer reports to me. He laid that out, and he also said Garfinkel is involved as well. So he kind of said, "Listen, I go down, you all come with me." So understand that there's some maneuverability. You got to read between the lines a little bit. But as much as I'll hashtag toss boss Ross all out of this bad boy, that's the only way it's going to happen is if we, the fan base, want him out. Because to me, the good old boys club, even if he's on the outside, knows that you can't start setting precedents of us owners pushing someone out or even allowing owners to get pushed out in some kind of scandalized way like this, because first of all, it's about the betting. It's about them maintaining their power over the teams that, quite frankly, they bought. It is their team, but there's a lot of moving parts on this. Don't be surprised if this falls on deaf ears and it just gets slide into obscurity.
So that's my question.
I just want to say, betting Mars, real quick, Big John, real quick. You can go after me real quick. For all those betting guys, I'm not allowed to comment on it or whatever, but I will say if you are big betting guys, Pierce, which is the black guy who is putting a bid out for the Denver Broncos, if you want to bet on something that you don't expect to happen, that is the thing to bet on.
Roger that. Go ahead, Big John. What were you going to say?
So my question is, how many of you do you guys think he loses the team? How many of you think he gets pushed out? Because me, for some reason, I still think they're going to throw him out of there. Do you think?
So chat. So go ahead. Put a yes in chat if you put a Y in chat if you think Ross is going to get pushed out.
I think he is for some strange
I
reason.
think he is, because if I can comment on that quickly, because what we were hoping on was Flores. With people like Big O is hoping and hoping that Flores, it's no more hope. Flores already brought out the first facts, which is the text, and the fact that he has audio on that boat.
You're next, Colin.
And the fact that the guy just came out a day ago who's the witness. We were just waiting for something. Now all of these things are coming. Roger Goodell is not gonna tell the owners stand up for a guy who's shaving games. You're worse than the third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds.
So, Colin,
Pete Rose, huh?
There's evidence, audio evidence.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We want to get Colin a chance to speak.
What's
Go
up,
ahead
Colin?
and give us the Tua
Man,
perspective on this.
Okay, there's a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but I want to keep Ross. I want to keep Ross.
I mean, there's plenty of people that do.
did.
There's plenty of people that do, and I can understand the sentiment of keeping Ross because the devil you know him, all right.
Well,
Plus, not
Colin,
to mention,
is it because you think Ross is a fan of Tua? Is that why you want to keep Ross? Okay,
No.
just wanted to make sure.
It's because I see someone that puts money into something and he wants to win. Not just he's putting money in on something he doesn't want to win. You know, he wants to get the job done. You know, and I see someone just like, that still deserves the chance to keep going at it.
But don't
they all do?
He keeps
All
changing his
32
level
Angels
of
did.
what he considers winning. Like for the Adam Gase introduction, it was Super Bowls, no matter what. Now it's devolved down to hopefully a Super Bowl, as he said today.
Can I say one quick thing?
He almost backtracked
the
and
money?
backslid. He initially wanted Super Bowls, and then he said, "Oh, we'll just win some playoff games."
By the way,
There's
Captain,
one
I got
thing that I disagree.
He's settling. He's settling.
Go ahead.
There's
CC.
one
By the way-
disagreement. No, real quick. There's one disagreement that I have with Mike McDaniel's conversation in his first press conference is there was very much, I agree that your owner doing whatever in bad, different, whatever the circumstances is. But to put the situation out there that whether you're going to come in and you're going to be successful, whether it's, whatever Brian Flores said about paying to lose and blah, blah, blah. How much pressure is put on him in this circumstance to, no matter whether it's a rebuilding issue, whether it's a scheme issue, teaching players, whatever, how much of that is going to be over analyzed because we're in the microwave society of winning?
None, because Stephen Ross can easily be canceled in 24 hours, and Tom Garfinkel will take over. Chris Greer will take over. That he will have
Sharif's
easy
not wrong.
pressure.
Sharif's not wrong. I
No,
mean,
Sharif is wrong because that guy.
No, see,
that
Goodell
guy,
said they can vote him out.
Character down. They could melt.
Yeah,
him
they
down
can
at
vote
the
out
drop of a
Ross.
hat, but they're not.
They
gonna
can
do
vote
that.
out Ross, but a buddy of mine is a lawyer. They can vote out Ross all they want.
And
Buddy
that
of mine's
gives
a lawyer. He
McDaniel
said
no pressure. Is
that
my
the
point. Crypto.
contract of the other guy, his predecessor, having first dibs on the team. If the NFL pushes Ross out,
Goodell's
they will
stopping
have
him.
a whole different ball game on their hands legally of trying to come out and say his predecessor, which we approved 6 years ago, it's a breach of contract
The owners
issue
already vote
because
on his predecessor.
Yeah, I know who
no.
he's talking about.
They said, my buddy said that the contract is the contract. So getting out of that contract, having breach of contract, the guy that is his predecessor can say his conduct has nothing to do with our agreement and my approval by the NFL.
Right. But any
by
purchase has to be
association.
approved by all 31 owners. So have
Yeah,
they
but by
already voted
association,
for that? the
Yes, they
approval on
already
this guy to be
voted
an owner?
6 years ago to agree that if
Yeah.
if Ross is no
if you broke
longer
the law
the
tomorrow,
owner,
you
he
and your
has
wife
the
are
right
going
to
to
first
jail.
refusal.
Right. Now, what's to say that those owners don't get together and say we were working with false information 6 years ago? We're going to re-vote.
Exactly, because you just
But
broke
that's
the
a
law
whole nother.
yesterday.
That's what I was saying. Is I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm saying
Does Ross
that's
have
where
on some of
somebody
these other
has the
guys?
argument.
Remember, these guys all come to Miami.
Mickey Harrison's Dolphins, 2022.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
Man,
Chris.
that
What are you
Yes,
going to say?
sir.
See, what I'm trying to
Wait,
get
go,
to.
real quick.
That would
Sharif.
be nice if they had a
let
local
Chris have
owner.
the floor a second. Let Chris have
Not
the
a
floor
fly
a
by
second.
night
Oh,
owner.
no, go ahead, guys. Go ahead. I'm good.
All right, go ahead, Sharif.
Yeah,
Come
what
on,
I want
Chris
to
to
see,
own the team.
what I'm trying to understand here. I'm
Hell
good
yeah,
with
buddy. Give me that football team.
with the Mike McDaniel. I'm really good with him, and I
Gonna
think
go
a
hang out
lot
with
of
the
pressure will
cheerleaders.
be
I heard you
taken
say.
off of him if Stephen Ross loses the team. Because number one, I think Chris Greer and Garfinkel are capable of doing that until they hand over to a new owner. And then we would just be free as Dolphin fans to finally we can scrutinize who sit fits magic, who we don't have to worry about it being Stephen
No, I
Ross or
scrutinize anyhow, bro.
you know what I mean? Like fans will make stuff up. Like it's Flores who ran roughshod, even though on week one of
Part
me
of the fun,
hiring
Sharif.
Flores.
It's part of the fun, Sharif. I mean, you can't know everything, even in something you see. You don't even know, like, okay, if this guy's fighting that guy and that guy's beating the hell out of that guy's ass, you're like, hey, stop beating that guy up. But that guy deserved to have his ass beat. You don't know, and it's
Sharif. What happened in week one?
But that's why Big O said if Flores would have said, "Oh my God, you're offering me $100K, I quit, and I'm gonna tell my lawyer, and you got to see my lawyer tomorrow."
what if he said that and then Flores died out at sea on that boat? You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about, bro?
He's toast.
So the thing about
you don't
it
want
is,
to? Poof, push you right over the edge of that boat. Bye.
Yup, it would have been on Channel 10. Stunning news today, ladies and gentlemen. The coach of the Miami Dolphins was found floating
I don't know.
off the
Zach
coast
Thomas
of
swam a couple miles back inshore. Maybe Flores does and comes out like a phoenix from the ashes.
and it shows how dirty Ross
I don't
is.
know,
which
Chris.
will take the
International
pressure.
waters is 7 miles off, man.
Hey, whatever, dude. Maybe he floats over to where Sharif's at.
Man, it's shots between me and them. But it would take the pressure off of McDaniel if he's removed from this team. And I think that's what we need. Fresh air. That's all I want. The running game will come.
If you own the Dolphins, if you own them, I'm going to hang out with the cheerleaders, all right?
Oh,
you own the
bro,
Dolphins.
listen, first of all, I'm going to build a secret tunnel right into the stadium from wherever I'm at. That's how that's going. I want my own tunnel.
But you don't think there already is one?
Oh, no, I've realized there is. I just want to crush that one and make my own. Okay, my
actually,
he said the Walking Dead enthusiasts got to go on with themselves.
Wait a minute, CT. In Florida, there's no underground tunnel in Florida. It's that Skyway cable cars you see. That's the underground
negative,
tunnel.
bro. Negative. I call BS.
That's the scariest shit.
First
That
of all,
is the scariest shit, bro.
I know for a fact they've got tunnels because I've been on Palm Beach Island where you're at a house in the middle of the island and you take a tunnel to a beach home. And I've been to them where they've got water fountains with wine in them. You guys have no idea what these rich people can do. I'm telling you, they got shit you ain't never even heard of.
It's called limestone continental shelves.
There you go, brother. These guys know how to build shit that you can totally do. I'll build a tunnel and, from here if I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe what you can do with 40-foot
down there, especially in Key West. I got a couple buddies out in Key West that got personal mansions on the beach, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've got basements. How in the hell do you have a basement in Miami?" "Oh no, we got it. These guys got 2-level basements. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
2 words
Money will give you
rubberized undercoat.
There would have been
Money
dicks,
will
right?
give you
Coming
everything
after me
you
for
want.
my cool tunnel idea. Now I'm human trafficking. What a bunch of assholes.
They just called you El Chris Epstein. Oh shit!
No,
El
Big
Captain
John
Epstein.
knows. Big John knows. I got a buddy of mine. He's a 5-star chef at Prime 21 down there in Miami. He's got a house out on Key Largo, bro. This house.
Where's it at? Give me the address. No, I'm just busting your job.
I will give it to you backstage because he lets me come out all the time, bro. Every time I come down, he lives in Miami. He never lives in it, bro. He's got 2 basements in Key Largo on the Keys, where the limestone and the water barrier is only 3 freaking feet deep.
So
bro,
my dad
you
did
gotta
a
have
hardwood
money.
floor. My dad
You
did a
gotta have
hardwood
money,
floor
bro.
in a guy's basement on Palm Beach Island one time, and it was just a man cave. It had craps tables and stripper poles and full on. And in there, they were bringing in handmade, hand-carved crown molding that they were spraying with 24 karat gold. My dad would come home, he had gold all in his hair and stuff like that. I was probably about 9 years old, bro.
That's
there's
I'm just saying, when these guys, when they got money, bro, water ain't a minute. Water ain't a minute, dog. They ain't giving a shit about none of that.
No, listen. Well, first of all, in a capitalist society, if you don't spend that money's taken from you. So you might as well spend it. That's Reaganomics right there for you, the trickle down method. Thank you, Reagan, because I believe that shit works, bro. I don't give a damn because crypto is kind of messing that up for everybody, but it's kind of letting me in the door at the same time. So you got to give it a little, take a little, guys. A little bit of roll of the dice.
Like, shh, I'm in there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys how you feel about this. So the bad in Ross losing the team is definite draft picks, right? And stuff like that. So that would mean that we can't move off of anyone if they're bad, Tua included. So we don't have any picks to move off of him if he's a disaster, right? And I don't think he would be. I'm just saying. So now we don't have any picks. We have fresh air with Ross removed.
2 first-round
now
picks.
We'll probably wipe out our
for
entire
next year,
future.
Sharif. We got 2
I think
first
it
round
sets up the
yeah.
narrative for failure being acceptable is what it does, and that shit ain't gonna fly with El Capitan. I'm tired of failure around this month.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. How you guys feel?
No, they can survive with the 2
Get him
first round
crypto.
picks.
Get him crypto.
Go ahead, crypto.
No, they'll survive if they want to go start stretch, but that means they have to fire everybody if they're gonna do that.
I'm talking about what the NFL is gonna do. They're gonna remove Ross. We're happy for that. They're gonna take picks, dude. They're gonna freaking wipe us out.
But then at that
Yeah,
point,
they're going to take
Here's
the
the thing, though.
scapegoat.
well, and then at that point, it's hashtag
Hold on, guys.
2032 at that
Here's the
point.
thing, though. If all this is found out, whatever, remember that Flores turned down the money. So we didn't actually break the rules. Now it might be reason, it might be cause to remove Ross, but that doesn't necessarily mean the Dolphins are going to be penalized because Flores didn't take the money.
Well, first of all, I'm going to find my betting slips.
Right. He
I'm
didn't
going to
take the
find
money,
my
so we don't
betting
get
slips
penalized.
from 2019, and
It'll be a
every
slap
bet
on
I
the
had,
wrist.
every bet I had with the Dolphins, I want a refund. So
yeah,
if
right.
It might be a slap on the wrist.
How about season tickets for
You could
19
do a
or
class
18?
action.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's where the downfall is. One scapegoat.
I'll be right back.
They're going to make the scapegoat just like Snyder.
Hold
just
that
like
thought,
Snyder.
PT.
And
Hold that thought,
Gruden.
PT. Hold that thought. Everybody, I want to make sure everybody likes, shares this video. Make sure you share it with everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Tell everybody else to subscribe, and you can get great content like this every night, as well as daily sometimes. Go ahead, CT.
No. Fins up. Hey, please like and subscribe. It's a great channel. But like I was saying, it brings back that whole, where are you going to draw the line? And there are so many things that, if true, absolutely Ross needs to go. But that doesn't change that the NFL, just like with John Gruden versus the Dan Snyder situation, or, here's Ross, let's throw him out. Let's make him the spectacle so we can whitewash, if there's a better word, all these other things, but let's make Ross the scapegoat. That's the issue.
No. Inside rumors are making Flores the scapegoat, and they're trying to say an attitude has just came into the NFL due to Flores, which is real heinous, because what it is you shouldn't have let everyone know that you're gonna go and interview a coach while you have Sperano in place, and then tell Sperano, suck it up when you come back home. And it's just things like that. It's things like that.
I was just specifically stating when Color had said about, Ross in that situation. I'm just saying that everybody, especially the NFL, if they can find a scapegoat and they can say, hey, it's not the NFL, it's this racist fuck. It's this guy. It's this guy who's...
That's why I gave you an example before Flores. He was a dick before Flores, bro. I'm not even using Flores.
you're missing my point. My point is instead of the
you're
NFL
trying to throw the
making real
excuse on
change.
Flores like many other Dolphin fans.
No,
This
I'm
dude
not
was
on
an
Flores.
asshole before Flo.
Yes, you're missing my point. Okay, I'm not going to continue to argue. Somebody else can talk.
No, so what were you trying to say that he all of a sudden became an asshole after he was hired? I missed
No,
that
I
part.
was saying no. I was saying that Ross from the beginning, and I agreed with Crypto. I wasn't arguing or Sheree. It was about, again, the NFL as a company. They're going to find a scapegoat, and they're going to say, "Oh, it's not the NFL's fault. It's not all these 31 other owners. We're going to find a scapegoat," just the same way that Dan Schneider and the Washington investigation,
Gruden.
they were like, "Hey, let's throw Gruden under the bus and let's get the attention off of us." That's where I'm concerned of. Where's the NFL going to say, "Hey, okay,
Who's
it
the
was
fall guy?
Ross," and then
somebody's got to be the fall guy.
But then there's going to be no real change to the NFL. And that is my issue. And I brought this up on multiple, situations. I think that I agree. I'm happy with the fact that there have been multicultural hirings in the general management positions. And that's where I think that there's going to be that trickle down effect. But the problem was,
that part.
I'm saying I don't want to continue to see a fall guy and then having no real change. That's what I'm trying to point out.
Well, I think Flores being the fall guy has flown the coop with the backpedaling we're seeing from Goodell now. I mean, I don't see a situation now where Goodell can still use Flores as a scapegoat while claiming to want to honestly pursue his concerns. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying Flores is scapegoat. I'm saying Ross is. So they're going to say, "Oh, Ross is the fucked up guy, and the rest of us racist guys who are hiring coaches, it wasn't our problem. It's not our fault. It was all Ross's fault." That's where I'm having an issue.
He would be the only one going down without them.
That's where I'm going out there for.
That's the weaker case, though, Crypto. When we're talking about a heavy case, Flores is pulling out the heavy part of the case, which is the betting. That's more heavy than anything racial or disparate
integrity of the game.
That's what gets lost here.
See what I'm saying?
This is something that like Congress would involve themselves with.
Oh no, listen, that's coming no matter what, whether this shakes out into litigation or not. Where we will end up is some form of checks and balance made by the federal government.
Yeah, because I think a lot of what the casual
it works out for all sides. It works out for all sides because then you get the stamp of approval that this is now legal. Whether there was shady shit happening, maybe or maybe not, doesn't really matter because now at this point the federal government says bets are legitimate.
And the casual fan keeps underestimating.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Can of worms.
Hold on a moment. I think a lot of the problem is that the casual fan disregards the significance of that because the average fan is like, "Oh, well, everything's rigged." Well, actually, not.
They probably will.
You know what I mean? Like most
throw
people
their hands up there and walk out the door.
Don't think the way we do, where we just accept it because we think that's the way things are. No. Congress is going to get involved with this. This is huge. The betting issue is huge.
Oh yeah,
people.
It took a lot of maneuverability to get to this point. It took a lot of maneuverability to get to this point. And guess what happened? Guess what happened?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Just listen, guys.
That Ross may be that fall guy.
Hold on,
I'm going to tell you what
happens. But the NFL's never going to change.
Here's what happens. whether your state accepts betting or not, it'll be legal on a federal level. Now, you can have litigation in your state to say no betting allowed in this state, and that'll happen in like certain states. But
Hey,
now,
real quick, somebody's got a
who's got the feedback?
Somebody's got a
feedback.
background.
Yeah. Feedback.
The circumstance will dictate that federally it's an A-OK stamp of approval, and that's good enough to where states that are on the fringe or litigation through the state of opposing issues where they want betting can now fight against it. It's legal federally. It's kind of like with the legal marijuana issue. It's now federally decriminalized in the sense where your state can control having it, but they're going about it. They're going to the end, because then once it's recognized federally, then they can sell the product overseas, and that's the goal, guys. That's the goal.
Yeah, state-wise, it's legal.
State-wise is good, but international betting, federally recognized as it's not cheating, internationally will take it to.
Well, I was talking about the marijuana shit. But
yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. It's the same round and dose.
It is. It's the same thing. And that's where I had the problem, because I feel like if the NFL, they're going to try to avoid taking consequences for their actions, and they're going to find a fall guy, and they're going to say, he's the evil one. He's the fucked up one. He's the terrible one. Stop generalizing or asserting that all of us are the same. And they're going to try to demonize one guy because they think that 31 other owners are going to make profit off of it in that same way, where, like I said, there are multiple organizations that have racism issues and whatever. That is absolutely undeniable. To try to argue that is asinine.
Yeah, well, now you're just arguing.
The problem is
everyone has a different perspective in some aspects, because we can see what is apparent when it's apparent. But again, you never know how someone's feeling and how it's side angled, where it's kind of like Office, where there's inappropriate behavior from a boss to an employee, where it's such a gray line in some instances. This and through the betting and the door that gets opened, whether the NFL wants it or not, it's going to open the door to where the federal government comes in the building. And then now the negotiation becomes, hey, we need to prevent this from happening again. And will you put an action committee? We can pay for it, whatever you want. We're talking about real world shit, boys. I know we try to have light.
They're going to put a regulator in the building, Chris.
That's they'll have
like they do with any sports gambling.
That's right, exactly.
In casinos,
and it'll be good in a way. It'll look clean as hell, is what we'll say. It'll look.
It's just, you know what, Chris?
But that's what I was trying to say. Is the NFL?
But you can't have that suspicion of people rigging games.
It's just like at the meat packing plants, how they all have a USDA regulator in his own little office,
right?
That doesn't belong to the company.
Rubber stamping
like that in NFL
stamping.
For any negotiations regarding team issues,
and when that happens,
that could affect the betting whatsoever, there'll be a federal regulator in the room.
When you have the little marking from the federal government, that's when USDA became internationally exported. It's just how it works, guys. And right now we are on the precipice of where football has grown. And although there's enough cities in America to grow it, I mean, listen, guys, we're going to see another 8 teams in the next 15 years, and 4 or 6 or all might even be international teams.
Yeah, they've approved them to play games in Mexico and Munich over the next several years.
Yeah, they're doing it because guess what? If you ain't growing, you're dying, and the sport will go stagnant if you don't grow. It's just how it works, guys. So,
yeah. I'm just wondering who's going to get first dibs.
I don't want one guy to be a fall guy and there never to be real change. That's my issue.
But
There'll be
It's
a
I
got to
don't
be
want
more. It's
weird
got to
guys.
be 3 or
again,
more
but
people.
you're weaving back to the racial issue. We're
Yeah.
talking as
At
far as the
least.
betting issue.
Yeah, I don't.
It's over.
Yeah.
The
Well,
feds
no,
are
because
already,
I
the
don't
FBI
think
is
that it's
already
specifically
investigating this
racial.
situation.
I
Well,
don't think that it's
CT,
specifically
don't you
racial.
understand? Don't you understand
no,
that
no.
by going international, it ends all narratives because now we have international people representing international teams and international fan bases cheering for said teams as well, where you can be Egyptian and have an Egyptian team. How fucking cool would that be, first of all?
No, I agree. But what I was
Yeah.
saying is again, I agree with all that. I was just saying the realistic perspective on what's actually
Can't
going
cure
to be
perspective,
changed.
CT. You know how they
Yeah,
cure
you can say
perspective?
in theory we're going to do this. In
You know what
theory,
they'll
we're
do?
going to do that.
I could see
If
But
Big John
what
rooting
is
for the
real
Egyptian
life?
Warriors.
Hell yeah, the Egyptian.
Well, right,
The
and but
Egyptian
I
here's
agree,
Warriors.
but I'm just
all
saying
30,
this
all
is the
32
problem that I
franchises
have.
are, but all 32
This is
franchises
that
are named
You're on mute, Big
in
John.
the racial aspect of the lawsuit. Every one of them are going to have to answer. There's going to be no fall guy.
it's not
Well,
the lawsuit part of it. It's like I said,
You're talking
in
about
general.
real change, CT. Guess what? When they make a USDA Dolphins NFL approved football that's not rigged, it will be that way. And even if you continue 12 years past it's a thing, 10, 15 years past it's a thing, you'll even if you perceive it as not
USDA
being
stands
legitimate,
for
CT, that's what I'm saying.
United
You will
States
become what they're
Domestic
called a
Agriculture.
conspiracy
So
theorist,
I'm
and they
not
can
sure
ostracize
what you're
you
saying.
for your perspective.
Hey, all I know is somebody's going to be called the Pharaohs, and that's going to be badass.
Yes, they will be
Ooh,
called
and
the
their
Pharaohs.
mascot will be that dog head thingy. That's
It'd
really
be the
cool.
Sphinx.
Sphinx. Yeah,
the
the Sphinx. The Sphinx.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Just
would be
remember,
dope.
Big John said it first.
Ooh, listen, let's trademark that name now for the NFL.
King Tuck will raise out of his grave.
What? I could see the halftime show now, bro. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I know. You have the pyramids in the background.
bro.
Oh man.
That'd be so cool.
I don't think they can.
No, they're gonna carve them out, and we're gonna play inside the pyramid.
What's up, John?
The mother of my beautiful daughter is asking who I'm talking to.
Somebody's got mad feedback, bro. Mad feedback.
I don't know, but it's
I
not
can't
me,
even
bro.
hear it.
I heard myself twice.
I don't hear
exactly. I heard it 3. Yeah.
I can't hear you. You're in the background. Sounds like John.
Is it that person right there with no symbol on it?
Is it Squid
No,
Games?
now it's
No,
good.
his
I
microphone's
don't hear the
muted.
replay now.
Squid Game's microphone's muted. I don't hear any feedback.
Okay, maybe him then. Because there was background like God knows.
I don't hear it. Then again, I was out.
No, it's good.
Well, no. Now I don't hear it. So if somebody muted themselves, maybe it was them.
Maybe you're right. Nice going, Squid Game.
You got open tab or something like that, maybe?
Squid Game says
No,
it ain't
I've
him.
been muted, boys. I've been muted.
I thought I saw you muted, brother. I was trying to stick up for you, Colin. No, I don't know. I don't know.
When I just heard Big John say, hey, it was Albert there.
Yeah, man. Now that and another thing, I think the delegation. I think McDaniel, when he steps into the room with Greer, I don't think he's thinking scheme, because he clearly, he said he's adjusting to what he has, which is, the players that he has. But if he asks Greer to bring in a tight end like Hunter Long, that means he's gonna, he's not gonna want a Gesicki type. Now, will Greer go ahead and get that? Or will Ross say, hey, I see this player. We just can't pass up on this guy. We have to go after this guy and get this guy. If that was the case, they would have went and gotten Burrow. But would have them? I mean,
there was reports of them. They had a massive trade deal package to move up for the number 1 overall pick. It's only rumors, but from what I understand, Cincy was never going to move off of it. And even if they were, they didn't, because but Cincy's notorious for not trading. So I don't think Cincy's ever traded their first overall pick ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I just hope Ross is not the kind of guy that. Yeah, I just hope
They've
he's
never
the kind of guy
traded a
that.
top 15 pick.
is that right?
never
They've traded
a
first
top
round
15
picks
pick.
Yeah,
that
they
are
don't believe
later
in
than
They
that.
have first round, but they
Never a top 15.
yeah, the ESPN Calzone,
listen, your
whatever the
odds.
thing is they've never traded a top 15 pick.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
That was
ask
the
one question?
article. That
What
was
the
the
hell is
article.
Miami? What the hell
That
is
was
the
the
Miami
article
Dolphins
when they
trying to
said
sell
that
us?
we tried. That was the article that they acknowledged that the Dolphins tried to move up.
Okay, what the hell are the Miami Dolphins trying to sell us? That's what I want to know.
I agree.
By the
Question
way,
to the panel.
Captain.
What
By the way,
are we
Captain.
being sold? I've never seen so much marketing for an individual on our team in all of my life.
By the way, Captain, you were on the money with that show.
They're trying
the
to
other
sell us
night.
the Brooklyn Bridge, their color.
Which show were you talking about?
No, I'm talking about what Stephen Ross came out. I said, let me look and see if Stephen Ross is going to come and talk, just like Captain said about how he brought on Gase, and sure enough, he came out to the podium. We did a lot of diligent this and we did a lot of diligent that, and we found.
Shots fired, bro.
Oh my
Shots
God!
fired.
It was
On
like,
the money,
we're
bro.
going through this
On the
again.
money. I told
Captain
you.
was right.
Lots of
Just saying. I mean, listen, I get it. It's canned, but it's been rumored for a long time. It was McDaniel. It's always kind of been him in some ways. I guess that's kind of the subject you guys were just talking about, because I mean, look, I think it's pretty clear to me that McDaniel may coach this team. He don't run this team. And I think it's also pretty clear to me that right now, Stephen Ross, whatever bit of say-so with the team, has probably taken complete backseat to all of it. This is Chris Greer's team now. And I feel pretty good about that. As anyone has watched me long enough knows, I think Chris Greer is the right guy for the job. So
I agree.
I think he's building even the coaching staff in some ways. Not that he's not. I think this is his baby now, and maybe that might be where really the disconnect came between Flores and Chris Greer in where it got sided. Because to me, it seemed like there was a power struggle at the end. I know we didn't get to see much of Chris Greer, but you saw how the ground shifted beneath the feet of Flores, and there's been a lot of reasons why, and then Flores has his reasons why, and that litigation will come out in the end. But if I were to take a guess, it would be more along the lines that Flores wanted to run the team the way he wanted to run it, and then when Chris Greer didn't do it the way he wanted, he probably was like, okay, I need to get this guy out of my way. This happens all the time. First of all, it's only speculation. I have nothing on this, but it's just from the outside looking in. Flores wanted, I mean, listen, the players were on his side. There's a loss of power where the coach has more say over the picks, over the direction of the team, over the ideology of the team. And even if it's not his job, he'll feel more emboldened to take that job, because who stands in his way when I have all the people on my side? I think that they saw this power dynamic potentially shifting, and Chris Greer's not going to let anyone take his one and only shot. He's had to share the power for a while now. And I think he's made, I think whether McDaniel's better coaching than Flores is yet to be seen. But if I was Chris Greer, he made the right choice, because, I mean, you're only going to get this one final and last chance to try and build your team that you think is going to win, that you think can make it happen, because that's how I'm going to see the rest of this roster built out. And we'll know when the defensive coordinator gets hired if he is an elder statesman, because I can't really think of any other way how McDaniel and Fangio is plugged together in any other way other than how Chris Greer has them plugged in together. Will Chris Greer?
But
well, he has a
Martin
good starting point now.
As far as a talent goes, this team is talented. So it's
Right.
if I was a first-time head
They're
coach,
not starting with a 1-15 team or 1-16 team.
they're not starting with the ideology that, hey, we're trading every piece of talent, we're cutting every budget, and we're gonna try to have something somewhere. Not even this year, and not even next year. It's going to be the year after.
That goes back to the original question to start the show. If our team is still left intact the way it is now, and we go to a Super Bowl, is that a Belichickian success or is that a Shanahanian success?
Right. It will be the root will be Belichick, and the finishing touch will be Shanahan.
Yep.
Now, if we get to the championship game the next 3 years in a row without getting to a Super Bowl, first of all, is that success? And second of all, does it make one bit of difference? And does it mean anything?
Yes.
Because you're talking about a guy that took a guy that can't take a ready-made team to the Super Bowl.
Because to assume that the Miami Dolphins on offense are ready-made is absolutely ridiculous of a take.
Well,
if you want to say that our defense beyond a middle linebacker,
that's a matter of
opinion. He's not saying that they're ready-made.
Is a winning team.
He's saying the defense
this team is above 500, so that's a matter of opinion.
No, I think that's a distinct difference.
No, I think he was saying that
if you want to make the argument, people want to make the argument that the defense is what makes this team.
I'm not making the argument.
You can't
Stephen
turn
Ross
around and
when he
say the offense is not the weakness
Wait a
of
minute,
this team.
Stephen Ross made that argument when he fired Brian Flores. Do I need to pull up the video of him telling us that Greer has done an exceptional job and our team is
with
ready?
The personnel. He did say
they already like the groceries. Didn't he say he liked the groceries?
He can say whatever he wants, but I don't agree, and I don't believe in Chris Greer. I've said this repeatedly that I think Chris Greer has no backbone to say, hey, I'm going to be a facilitator. I'm going to get what you want. So
you're saying
I don't think that your choice is correct.
So if you don't have any faith in Greer, are you saying that he made an incorrect choice with our head coach?
I agree. There is not a difference. But all I said was what? But what have I said, caller? No.
Did you just say that Mike McDaniel is not the right guy for the job?
I said again.
Greer chose him.
I've said this multiple times. I only agree with the Mike McDaniel hire if you are going to surround him with not only an experienced defensive coordinator.
You just said that Greer doesn't. You don't have any faith in Greer to do that.
Oh my God! No, don't put words in my mouth. But okay,
our team is trash. Remember,
I've said this multiple times.
It's trash.
No, but you're missing my point. I agree that the overall team is trash, and this is where I made the argument. I wanted an experienced head coach. I don't want the next offensive guru. I don't want the next defensive guru.
We didn't get that. Do you believe
we did kind of get that?
I agree we don't.
Didn't we? Isn't that
I agree that we didn't. But what I am saying,
do you think McDaniel is going to be successful? Do you think he's going to be any different than what we've had for the last 25 years?
Well, that's where I'm trying to finish. Is I agree that we went with Philbin and Gase and Flores. They're opposite sides of the spectrum. Oh, Gase was the genius. Oh, Philbin's mediocre, half and half, whatever. He's the offensive coordinator, but he also had head coaching experience versus a new guy in Mike McDaniel who only has the offensive experience. Yes, okay, for the detractors, they're going to tell me I'm wrong. Yes, he was a defensive coordinator analyst for 2 years. So yes, technically he's worked on both sides of the ball. But
who?
I've said
McDaniel?
this from the
No, that don't
beginning.
really count for
I've said
anything.
no, that's
It's
true.
extensive
That's fact.
experiences on the offense.
Yeah.
No,
Listen,
he had two defensive side of the ball quality coordinator for his first 2 years. He
When?
had both
In
sides
Doing what?
in
Doing what?
college
Yeah.
when he was an
Now,
intern
see what's
in
happening here?
college.
See what's happening here?
Yeah,
We're
see,
already now
wait a
moved
minute.
into arguing on behalf of Mike McDaniel. So you're saying that you think he can be successful?
No, I said yes. I do believe he can be successful
So then
and
you
I've said
believe
this
that Greer
repeatedly.
can make
Caller,
a
let me
correct choice.
finish.
Wait a minute.
Caller,
So
let me
you do believe that
finish.
Greer can make a correct choice?
I think Greer is running this bitch 1,000,000,000% now. That's my point. Where my faith goes.
Well, now he is.
Now he is in every aspect, and I think he found somebody in McDaniel that is willing to understand this hierarchy and go with the direction he has. Everyone has their roles, and they'll work to a common goal, and hopefully it'll be where
trying to determine
McDaniel.
whether Greer is a piece of
Until
shit or
draft
whether
day.
he's good. We all got to decide
here,
because
Colin?
on one,
You want a
whenever it fits our narrative to say that Greer is trash, we say it. But whenever we need to support our guy that Greer has on this team, we don't point out that Greer makes bad.
Grade myself, huh? I don't think so.
Greer has two benefits. Greer has two benefits. And if anyone wants to argue with me, bring it. Greer has two benefits. One, he's a trade guru. He will trade things and the assets to his benefit.
So then why is our team such trash?
Well, let me
just a
finish.
young team,
This
bro.
is where I said two. This is where I said two things. Two, in free agency, just like Jeff Ireland and Mike Tannenbaum, Greer is ready to allow a coach to bring in high price guys. Kyle Van Noy, we spent $160 million in 2 years in free agency. And 80% of those players are no longer on this team. So if you want to get the high risk, high reward, because Greer, over the last 2 years, has picked good players in the draft. But in free agency, he sucked donkey dick repeatedly.
I mean, who did they really buy, though? Did anyone believe
good,
that?
or is it because they are actually trash?
Colin, what you got to say real quick, buddy?
Yo, I got something big to say. So, first off, I got to work in the morning, so I got to get off here in a minute. But, man, so I got something to say to everyone that's in the chat right now. If someone donates to Chris right now, I will be donating. So if someone needs to go out and donate, because ain't nobody appreciates a donate like Chris up there, man.
Thanks, Colin. I really appreciate it, man. And with that, guys, I'll even go through the rundown. Thanks, Colin. Look at Colin teeing up the rundown, bro. Good job, buddy. Guys, make sure to hit the like if you're watching the show. Subscribe to the channel. Talk TMI Tuesdays at 9. We also have Mike on the Mic coming on Tuesdays with Open Mic, and then on Saturdays with Drop the Mic. And then on Thursdays today, Cashin tickets. You guys can go back and watch the earlier part of that. And then afterwards, we do color commentary. And then always we got the Fins tailgate. You guys can catch me on, all the time. Actually, guys, this Saturday, if you look in the thing, I'll be having Alex Dono on here with me, doing a little talk with Alex Dono on Saturday. I think we're doing it at noon is the starting time. So be sure to come and check that out. And the Cash App and Venmo is there in the bottom. It's the Fins tailgate, and then on Cash App, it's a little money sign Fins tailgate. And guys, thanks, Colin, for teeing it up,
Chris,
my brother.
Chris, can you do me a favor and pull up that video I just queued up?
Oh yeah, hold on, buddy. Let me see. All right, here you go, buddy.
The state of this roster's talent level, what more do you think that this roster can accomplish as currently constructed?
Well, I think one, it's the roster, it's the way the organization functions, communicates together, and I think that really is very important in building a winning football team and sustaining that over the long term.
So it sounds like this had as much to do with maybe communication issues or compatibility off the field as it did performance on the field.
Well, I mean, I think, look, if you look at it, it's really communication and collaboration. And I don't think there's any organization in this country that, unless you have excellent communication and collaborative efforts within the whole organization, that you can really win and sustain yourself in the long term.
Sounds to me like he's perfectly fine with the roster.
Oh no, he was
Did I
very
miss
he was
something?
very
Yeah,
clear
that dude,
about
based on
Chris
that,
Greer
the
had done a
conversation.
good job. He was very clear about that. And you know what?
Yeah, and he used the
Q,
roster
did you
as
just say he looks
example.
like the guy from
I'm doing a
Ratatouille?
good
Dude, that
job.
is hilarious,
It's
bro.
crazy.
That is hilarious, the Ratatouille. That is so funny, man.
Who wins the internet tonight?
Dude, Q destroyed it with that one. That was hilarious, man. I was watching that like 2 weeks, like 2 months ago with my niece back in friggin' Ratatouille. Anyhow, you know what, guys? It's Ross has been good at dodging all of it. And I mean, bro, like he's the pro. Let's get real. So
Yeah.
and because of the delicacy, and I've kind of accepted this fact. Listen, I'm all about hashtag toss boss Ross, but I gotta wait for him to slip up, don't I? Because I gotta bite my time. I can't just go rolling around toss boss Ross. Like we just hired a coach. No. I know when to throw the toss boss Ross out of there because it's listen, this guy could come out unscathed. The NFL could be like, and in some ways, maybe Flores has perceived it wrong. Maybe this is something else. I don't know. I got to be careful and tread in a way, but I don't know, man. It looked dirty to me. It wouldn't be unthinkable to think that a guy would do something like that, but it couldn't be unthinkable that maybe Flores perceived what he said to him the wrong way. So I don't know. It's really dicey to say the least. But litigation is coming one way or the other. And whether it gets some under the table payout or some settlement, maybe some implemented real changes in the NFL, that will be probably the most important part. Whether the backlash comes on Ross, I doubt that. I gotta be real. I gotta doubt. The only way you can get these guys
backdoor checks written in infamous EKG like signatures. You never know.
Yeah, I want to say to Wicked Fubar, we appreciate you.
Thank you,
we
Wicked
appreciate
Fubar.
you coming up and viewing us for the last week or so, and you're always welcome to put your 2 cents in.
Anytime, every time, Wicked Fubar. We have no fear of 2 cents around this mud, dog. I wear this purple jacket to let everybody know that it is tomfoolery at the minimum. So come on back, dog. We here all the time. As you can see, we drop out shows. We put them out there. The schedule will be a little bit more set in stone as time goes on, but we got tons of fun stuff to do. I mean, it again, the only way to come at these guys is in a public way and not public damning them because let's get real. I can't sit here and throw stones at things for people what they did in their past or anything like that. It has to be more in a clear ideology that, hey, bro, you would fire yourself for the job you're doing. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to hold himself to the same standard.
Yeah, he does. Hold on, I gotta drop the link. Let me drop the link for.
But see, if Cincinnati wins color, then that will be kudos to the Philbin and Mike Holmgren tree.
Not only that, it'll also disprove. I mean, really, we talked about this on the betting show, Crypto. It literally is a system versus an elite quarterback because that's how it'll be viewed come championship. Come championship.
Right. System versus an elite quarterback.
System versus elite.
Yeah, and the only difference between
very
the
great.
Color, did you freeze up?
Yeah. System.
You froze up there for a second, Color. What'd you say?
Yep. I was saying that the only reason that the Rams are further than the Niners is because the Rams have filled more of the pieces to that system's puzzle at this point in time.
Oh, you talking about as far as
Yeah,
at the quarterback position and at some of the wide receiver position. Yeah, they have.
But
Right, because
on both sides.
honestly, they game planned Deebo Samuel out of the game, and that was it. That was all the 49ers had to come with.
But see what else
That was it.
in
Yeah.
a superior.
There's a one-man offense. You can't do that. It's sustainable. It's not sustainable.
But
One-man
even
offense.
like
It's not basketball.
that's true.
This is what they think this is. you can't
do
eventually
that.
win with a one-man
Can't
offense.
keep feeding it to whomever the ball because they can get in scoring position. You can't do that.
Well, it's kind of like the Jalen Ramsey thing. If Burrow doesn't target Ramsey all night, then who cares about Ramsey?
Well, in the same breath, they've
Right.
made sure of that with a pass rush as well. You know what I'm saying? So they do a good job over there in trying to spread the money in all the places. But look how much one player means in the game of football is my point, because Joe Burrow's got that offense humming so good that the defense got time to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like you make up for deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball with an elite arm talent. And I'm not saying that, Tua can't ever become an elite arm talent. And really, it's always been the same thing with me with Tua. Is he going to be able to take the beating? That's all, man. Because listen, I love playing football and I put beating on people, but I've never put a beating on no guy that's 100 pounds heavier than me. It's just impossible. And I'm not saying all these guys are 100 pounds heavier than him. But damn, dude,
We
these
don't
guys are
want Tua
monsters,
to endure
bro.
9 sacks and having to go through the whole minutia of, well, he took 9 sacks, but we couldn't overcome. But of course, the offensive line is going to get blamed when he doesn't overcome a
look,
9-sack game like Burrow.
Wicked Fubar making a first appearance. Thanks for hopping in, Wicked Fubar. Thank you. bro,
welcome
for
on,
hopping.
Wicked.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Welcome on.
Doing good, my man. So, what do you think?
Wait, real quick, I have a quick question for you. Is that Wacked Foolba, or is that pronounced correctly like us Dolphin fans would pronounce it?
Are you from?
Are you from Boston? Is what I'm asking.
Boston.
Yeah, because it's wicked. They use that in
Wicked,
the Northeast.
Wacked Foolba.
Wicked.
No. It's wicked.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So, what do you enjoy? Are you feeling a bit of optimism because of the Mike McDaniel hire, or is it more error on the side of caution for you, Fubar?
So, just so you guys know, I've been a Dolphin fan since the 70s. I actually grew up not too far from where they used to practice. So, I'm a greasy Zonka guy from the get-go. But I'm in LA. I get a lot of 49ers stuff. I've heard about McDaniel for a while, so I'm optimistic. I'm still my fear or the caution is who else is he going to assemble on his coaching staff? And like you guys have said, if we could get Fangio, an experienced defensive coordinator that's familiar with the 3-4 hybrid defense, I would feel a little more jazzed about that.
If I could have my pick of the litter, I would like Mike Zimmerman, because I think that defense they used to run up there would fit perfect with the personnel that's already on the roster. But Fangio's a seasoned veteran, and as anyone knows from watching him coach, it's all about defensive line with him. And we've got a lot of weapons for him to really make something fun, especially because right now, as the basic package, it's really just an all-out blitz in some ways, with options of people to drop in and out, and probably some have more free range than the other as far as who's going to drop into coverage and who's going to just go at and fill the gap and try to get upfield at the quarterback, running back, whatever. It's usually on an obvious passing down that they run the zero blitz. But I think from Fangio, where he looks at it, if he can get creative with our defensive line, especially with a guy like Phillips, who has already been quasi dropping back into coverage. I'd like to see him, blitz more or just be a pass rusher more. But him and Van Ginkel, these guys stay very hybrid-like, and you can get so creative with you appear to be a 3-4 or 4-3 and literally just be completely different after the snap of the ball. And it's so confusing to whatever quarterback you're going against. If really, whatever coach does come in as a defensive coordinator, I'm hoping that it's somebody with a little bit of more, gray in their beard, if you will, because that guy's going to look at this scheme of talent that Flores is leaving him and have a field day of all the dude, think about how multiple Holland is. I know everyone has their gripes about Baker, but he can get into coverage, and in certain schemes, you can run. We take a beating in zone when installs, but with a guy like Holland and guys like Brandon Jones and Nick Needham now as well, these three guys can rotate. You don't know who's playing outside of who your boundary lockdown guy is, which will be either Howard or Byron. You can rotate these three DBs now, and you don't know who's in the slot. You don't know who's coming off the edge. You don't know if it's single high, if it's two safety, because he could be close down to the line, but drop right back and be in the middle of the ground while the other safety drifted over, and they've run two safety essentially with one single high to watch the deep bomb, if that's what they plan on doing, especially on an obvious passing down. My point is that zone inside out can be more than what we've seen already just by the talent we have on the team. So that I expected to see in the next step of this defense, no matter what, because everyone's getting another year. What's up, Tony?
I was going to say, we can run a 3-3-5 defense, having 3 safeties, 2 corners, and 3 linebackers and 3 defensive line and stuff like that.
No doubt. And that's the exact defense I'm talking about, because really it ain't never a 3-3-4-3 nothing. You've got a guy on the line that can move to linebacker. You got a linebacker that can move to line or out in coverage, and you have a DB that can become a linebacker or be on the line as a linebacker. And when you have 3 guys that can rotate in your defense like this, and you have multiple guys that can take that role, you're fucked. It's the hardest
and this is why I'm
ever to go against, bro. It's so hard because you don't know who's playing what role, because you're looking at a DB who was lined up in your series of offensive scheme. You line up, you read the defense, you see the personnel, and then you want to start getting, you get a pass on them, you get a run on them, and now you're trying to put them on their heels. So you're trying to run hurry up. Well, if by any given moment you take your time in changing and that defense is allowed to call its play, you're looking at a guy that was playing corner, but now he's playing linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Because he's actually the nickel safety that's been playing corner on this series, but now he's going to slide over and they're going to go too high and bring him across. And you're going to think you got him beat on a zone passing play because it looks like they're in zone, but they're not. And that's the multiplicity that you're going to have with guys from the line to the DB. It's a roster that's already built for it. Flores had started that. I don't know if that was where he was going with it, because we never got to see that come into fruition.
So. Yeah, no, and this is why I'm saying I can see us. This is why I hate when people disagree. I can see us drafting a 3rd safety this year and not having a slot corner, having one of.
Well, I think that 3rd safety might potentially already be on the roster, and it could be Noah, bro. That's just something to think about.
I think Zimmer is a good fit for our DC.
I agree. That's kind of who I was thinking.
Yo, Chris, I gotta hit the rack for work tomorrow, bro.
All right, my brother.
Hey, my freaking donation is gonna start building up for a thing for Wild Turkey. All right.
Nice, brother. I'm gonna get me.
Appreciate you coming in, Colin.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Colin. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Fins up.
Later. Fins up, buddy.
Oh, did you see my comment earlier? I wasn't sure if you were able to.
This one here.
Yeah. Does the NFL penalize teams also by taking away their cap space if they find out they're doing something illegal, as well as taking away draft picks? Is what I'm wondering. Do they actually take away cap space as well?
I don't think so, man. Now you're getting into, shit. The NFL can do whatever the hell it wants, bro. To be honest with you. they could deduct whatever they see fit. I would imagine. I don't know.
They usually do that through fines, not actual cap space.
Yeah,
unless the fines come out of the cap space. I don't
it'll
know.
be a monetary fine hit. I think the problem with if they were to hit us by reducing our cap space, I'm not sure how that would even work. If you look at the collective bargaining agreement between the players and the team, if that would be problematic, or if the union would then get involved.
Especially if it comes out of being able to pay a player, which I don't think they could do that.
Yeah.
No. The reason why I asked that is because that can actually, if you take it away, which I agree with you, won't be able to happen because of the collective bargaining agreement, but they can spread it out between teams and stuff like that. Like take it away from the team who did the thing that was illegal and stuff like that.
Bro, that would be such a freaking swift kick in the nuts. Ronnie has over here, he says, I firmly believe the 1-7 start and the team not pulling the trigger on Watson started the rift between Greer and Flores. Bro, I 1,000,000% agree with that, because I think the whole ideology was bought and sold as Watson was going to happen. And if you guys go back, and I know everybody probably, well, if you don't watch Big O, you should probably check him out. But he had Joe Shad on there the day of the trade deadline. And Big O was talking, trash about Watson, calling him, all the names under the sun.
As usual.
Joe Shad got venom in his voice, and I don't know anybody if you guys watch Joe Shad. He's the nicest guy ever, very professional.
I see him.
Got venom in his voice, and the whatchamacallit got cut short. The interview got cut a little short, and they obviously talked backstage because he took a break after that. And from the rest of that show, it seemed like Big O pulled the reins up a little bit.
I want to see that. I want to watch that show.
I'm telling you, I guarantee that the word Joe Shad was getting at that point was, listen, be careful, because these sons of bitches are probably going to get this guy. That's what I think it was. Like, watch out. I can't be on here with you calling this guy that's going to be our quarterback a rapist. I can't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're not going to let me come in here. That's what it looked like to me. And I was like,
that's basically what Big O was insinuating. That
was this back before the trade deadline?
Leading up to the
trade deadline.
Leading up to the trade deadline.
It was either the day or the day before.
Big O is a perfect example of, I can't believe I'm saying this, he's the leader of Tuanon, in my honest opinion.
And I hope he doesn't think for a second that somebody won't target him in this lawsuit as far as
first
the
of all,
slander goes.
Big O has been targeted a gazillion times. I don't think he gives a shit, bro. And more power to him.
Probably not. Probably not.
He's like, listen, I'm a fucking radio guy. Stick it up your ass. Okay. And it's hard to fight against people who put their face or their voice out there because they can just sit there
but Chris,
all
what I'm
day,
saying
every day.
is, what I'm saying though is they won't necessarily come after him. What'll happen is somebody will strong arm YouTube and YouTube will cancel him.
Oh.
That's how they do it.
I guess
that's the tactic they'll use. Correct.
Damn, I didn't even think about that, brother.
They'll do it the indirect way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
well, true. A lot of these social media platforms that
and if he's going to keep going after, if he's going to
they'll target that.
Right, and if he's going to keep the Flores slander, that's the woke mob that's going to be complaining to YouTube. And we have seen in the past that they are successful. Okay, so
he keep at it. Yeah,
just saying. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, well, Flo is living rent free.
People that he's directly insulting are the ones that do what I'm talking about. So
yeah, but Flo's been living rent free in his mind ever since he jumped off the Flo support train because he tried out like he never supported Flo before.
Right.
He's pretty much making links and insinuating him as being Shula-esque.
Yep. And
so I remember those earlier videos
whether he
of Flo's second year as the head coach, he was insinuating that Greer is the first time you had a head coach, a general manager, and a quarterback, and he included Flo in that trifecta with Tua, Greer, and an owner. I mean, the general manager with Flo. And he said the first time we had that since Shula and Marino days. So he insinuated, he made
there's
that
also
connection.
the image that Big O presents to his audience into that seems to suggest he may possibly speak for the organization. You see what I'm saying? So he has to be careful when it comes to, the Dolphins will push back. They'll be like, look, this guy don't speak for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because he's out there claiming sources. He's out there claiming
basically saying he's the
inside
voice of the
sources and
Miami
all this
Dolphins.
other stuff. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
he's saying
to
he's
me,
the
it
voice
looks
of the
like he
Dolphins or
could
something.
be assumed to be a face of the organization.
Yeah, he does kind of come off like that. That he's the he is the spokesperson for the Dolphins.
Crypto.
Huh?
This is a point that people bring up all the time. How can the Dolphins franchise be racist if we have if we had a coach who was black and a whole front office?
The Dolphins aren't tied up in the race theory, bro. I think we
No. But he's saying they're trying to make a lame argument. All you have to do is just simply respond by saying, "How can a slave master that owns a plantation have 100% employees and then not be considered racist at the same time?"
Thank you, Crypto. I'm so tired of that argument.
Crypto is so funny.
That's easy to
It's a
debunk
double
that one.
standard argument, is what it is.
Well,
Right.
look at Germany. We're all those. How could Germany be on board if? Let's not go there, people.
Right, exactly. They wasn't the Nazis wasn't racist. They had 100% employment of Jewish people working in the fields.
Right.
Yeah, it's ignorance and stupidity is what it is, right?
So yeah. So with regard to that flow situation there, I honestly, and this is just a hunch, right? I have no knowledge of this. I think when Flo was fired, there had been so much talk, and for years, about Ross and his love affair with Harbaugh. I think Flo and his attorneys honestly believed that Ross was going to go out there and hire Harbaugh. And by doing so, you would have replaced a successful black coach with a white coach right after, right? And you can make, and I've seen the arguments where, the Dolphins, were justified in terminating him for a lot of reasons. But I think when they put that in the lawsuit and they included the Dolphins with the racist part of that, I think his attorneys make.
I don't know. I mean,
Well,
listen.
a big problem also, I'm sorry, Chris, but the big problem with that also is that while we can sit here and speculate the justification why Flores was fired, none of those are the justifications that Ross laid out in the speech after he fired Flores.
Oh no, it was the communicating, right? He doesn't play well with
collaboration,
right? But in their slander campaign, they've made it clear that it was these failures of Flores, the fact that he couldn't build a staff, the fact that he couldn't do anything on offense, all of which could have been shoehorned onto him, just like we're about to shoehorn defensive people onto Mike McDaniel. So there's a clear double standard there.
Well,
God Soldier, I'm looking for the video, man. I'll have to take some other time to try to find that Joe Shad interview. But
and what Wicked was saying about them not wanting to hire Harbaugh because of optics and all that, you kind of have a point, because this goes to the optics or the campaign we saw right after the day McDaniel was hired to make sure that everybody in the nation knew that he was biracial. They were falling over themselves to tell us all that he was biracial.
That he was, right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that
Yeah,
it
they
just
definitely
speaks to
made
the idea that
head over
yeah, they
heels
were
to let us
thinking
know that.
about optics the whole time. Absolutely.
Yeah, to let us know. I was like, oh, by the way, he's biracial. So we can't be racist, right, Alexander? No, not Alexander, but Tony.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like
That
that statement
that's just a weak
statement is
argument.
right there
crazy.
is
It
ignorant
is a weak
or
argument.
It's a
yeah, it's
weak,
a weak
weak
argument.
argument. You
Yeah,
know,
You know,
can't as a matter of as a sure factor way of not somebody not being a racist. That's crazy.
And you guys feel like can you so you think the franchise, the Cardinals are choosing Kingsbury over Kyler, and he might
no,
be
I
out.
don't. I think Kyler's making his push, flexing his muscle, knowing he's going to need to get paid here real soon, and
yeah. When's his contract?
he wants to show them, hey, you either pay me early, or make sure I get to where you're going to show me off in the playoffs to pay me early, or I'm out of this bitch. That's
He
what I
sees the
say.
forest from the trees. He knows he's about to be scapegoated.
That's right. If
Mhm.
he wants, or at least they could use that
Yeah.
to devalue him and not give him the money he thinks he earns.
Yep,
And let's
because if
get
they were
real.
going to choose Kyler over Kingsbury, Kingsbury would have already been fired on Black Monday.
Yeah, no, I don't think this has anything to do with being chosen or not. I think it's more of a flex of I'm willing to sit out a year like players do these years. But he needs to be careful because that didn't work out too good for Deshaun Watson when he started doing all the stuff he's doing on social media. But just saying. All right, guys.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, Wicked?
Chris, Kohler, my phone's about ready to die, so I'm going to get off of here really quick.
Well,
I
go
wanna
ahead,
tell you
Wicked.
thank
Give
you.
us
I
your final
appreciate
thoughts. Then you can start off the
Yeah,
final
go ahead and
thoughts.
give us
then.
your final thoughts real quick, bud.
You know, I think all of us, I even commented to Big O that, you know, as Dolphin fans, we're all suffering from football PTSD. So, because we've been through this so many times, so I'm cautiously optimistic. And you know, like Dolphin fans, I mean, I remember the Super Bowls. You know, I remember, I still have Merino jerseys. You know, my oldest boy still, I mean, he has it hanging up in his room. You know, the little toddler Merino jersey. We're hopeful. That's the one thing about Fins fans is
Okay, so we'll
we
mark
tend
Wicked
to
as
be
part of reasons asshole list for not liking McDaniel right off the bat. Okay, just making sure we got you there, buddy.
No. Hey, look, I listen to Reason, but and just like I said with you guys in my comment, I've been watching you guys. I don't agree with all of your takes, but I
You
have
understand
to
them.
respect your opinion,
and you understand them too.
But you got my joke, right? I mean, he tweeted out today that
yeah.
if a person doesn't like Mike McDaniel, you might be an asshole. And I thought, wow, that's such a reasonable statement.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, Kohler, between us, I can't get on Twitter anymore. I got banned.
I don't blame you. Well, in fairness, I did ask if it was sarcasm. I wasn't feeding right into it right away. I mean, he
it's
could have
okay.
just been,
Okay. I made a comment that Stephen Ross needs to sell the team before we hired Flo, and I put all the hashtags in there to make sure that Stephen Ross got it. He actually liked my tweet, and then I got banned. So
what?
No,
That's weird.
God's the honest truth, boys. God's the honest truth.
You're a mole. He must have saw you as a mole. He's like, I ain't letting this mole win.
Maybe, but I appreciate. Let me
Wait a
say,
minute, I caught the
thank
tail
you
end of
for
that.
letting me come on, guys.
He said,
Yeah.
all right, take it easy, Wicked.
Yeah, God bless you, Wicked.
Take it easy.
But
All
he
right,
said
you
he
guys
got
too,
kicked
man.
off Twitter because he said fire Ross or something to that effect, and put 1,000,001 hashtags in there to make certain that it got to Ross, and then he liked it, and then he got kicked off Twitter, and he's not allowed back on Twitter. Ronnie says billionaire flex, dog, for real.
Wow.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So
Tony, how about you, man? Any final thoughts on
I'm
anything we talked about tonight? You
I'm
think the
cautiously
Belichick? You think the Shanahan?
Tony's like, oh shit, I don't want to get kicked off of everywhere.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm cautiously pessimistic. I lost my optimism a long time ago, honestly, with this franchise.
It's a real Dolphin
Specifically
fan
with-
right there.
Huh?
That's a real Dolphin fan
Yeah,
right there.
cautiously pessimistic. I like it.
I like it too, bro. I love that.
Yeah.
Who you got in the Super Bowl, Tony?
Was interesting.
Yeah. No, and to me, I feel like when it comes to Mike McDaniel, I'm giving him a chance. If he keeps the Flores defense and brings in a guy who runs that same defense, I'm okay. And honestly, I would be okay with mixing his offense with maybe a mixture of Mike Sherman's offense when he was at Texas Tech, Texas A&M. That spread, a West Coast with a West Coast spread offense.
That ain't
So do
gonna
you like?
happen.
Do you like his personality?
People are over.
Oh wait. Okay, so we got Tony on the reasons asshole list. He just said, He didn't come out and say right off the bat, I love the guy. So we'll put Tony, add Tony to the reason asshole list.
Jesus.
No. What I'm saying,
just kidding, man.
People are overhyping his person just because Flores didn't answer. He learned that from Belichick. Belichick is the exact same way. He doesn't give you the.
I mean, bro,
you don't need.
I got to give pushback on the narrative that all of Belichick's disciples all are like Belichick and believe that they're Belichick and they learned it from. I mean, what is Belichick? Everybody's daddy? No, I find that preposterous to say the least. I have
Romeo
to say,
Cromwell wasn't even like that.
Not to mention,
Romeo Cromwell wasn't like that.
There's no rule against copying success. I mean,
yeah,
why do
I
we?
mean,
why
I
do
think
we
it's just
fault
more
them
about
for copying?
systematic and go, listen, your franchise is in disarray and we need structure around here, and this is how you get it.
And it seems like they all get brought in to bring in the structure, and then they all get scapegoated on the way out to bring in a Shanahan guy to drive it the rest of the way. That's what it seems to me has been going on.
No, you can.
Hey, if it works, I don't give a damn. As long as it brings me a ring to Miami, I'll cheer.
But there again, Chris, how many rings has that brought?
I know
so
that.
far,
We're gonna see on Sunday.
No.
Yeah.
Gotta love the NFL, man. That's all I'm
Color,
saying. Gotta love the
see where you're
NFL,
coming
man.
from. I think people overhype the coaches with the. I understand Super Bowls are the determiner of success, but sometimes that can be overhyped because there's certain coaches that I feel that got lucky. The perfect example, Gruden walked into two teams and he won a Super Bowl.
Did he walk into those teams, or were they perfectly placed at his lap?
Yes, they were. Tony
Gruden
Dungy
was.
created that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
Right. He walked right into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
kind of getting my wheels turning here, boys. I'll have to
Gruden is
ponder
the most
more about
overrated
that.
coach ever.
Yeah, you would, Chris, don't you? Because what color is Tony Dungy's skin?
Oh man, Jesus!
Just saying, man. They got a point. That's all I'm
Jesus
saying.
color.
That's all I'm
Goodness
saying,
gracious!
bro.
Now I got to make a whole record and try. I mean, listen, I ain't got the board with the pins and shit and the yarn. I got no yarn.
You were gonna get
dog.
away
I got
without
no
an
yarn.
outline? Are you serious?
Don't ask me
man?
to start putting together conspiracies because I don't have any yarn. So no,
Tony, you got anything
yarn,
else to add to
can't
that,
do it.
buddy?
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. But
No
you guys
yarn?
agree with me. Sometimes fans overhype the Super Bowl rings as a determinant of a success of a coach. I understand it's a main factor to get them into the Hall of Fame, but for me, I think the Super Bowl, if they get to the championship and into the Super Bowl,
You gotta have a little bit of luck.
yeah.
You know what?
Aquavision makes the
just
greatest
came in
point.
with the best point of the night. Thank you,
point. Aquavision
Aquavision.
been sitting here quietly.
I will take the L on that. That is
a
excellent
massive
point.
L, bro, because that oak
Right.
that you were talking about is built on roots of Parcells.
Of Parcells.
Damn,
you got
bro.
it.
Yeah,
Aqua
that
So
walks
we
Vision.
into.
actually are going to now say that the Parcells disciple was successful in New England because
Exactly.
Parcells
He
has
was
a
a
Super Bowl
Parcell
ring
No
disciple.
already.
one ever will
Exactly.
ever get the
Yeah.
credit for themselves. It's always somebody else. it's
Aqua
freaking.
Vision from left field out of
No,
nowhere. Just
McDaniels already
totally
told you.
stole the
No
W,
one's giving
man.
him credit for being a great father. He took his credit already. So.
I heard that, brother. It's funny that you don't
That
know.
was
You
pretty
didn't know if he
slick.
meant
I'm
it in a
glad he
joke.
said
That
that.
was
Nobody
hilarious.
picked it.
Hey,
Nobody
listen,
picked
I
up
love
on that.
Aqua, I really
I love
I'll be
appreciate you
damned if I
letting
give somebody else
You
credit
know
for
what?
me being a
No,
great
you
father.
know what though,
I know.
Aqua.
I
That
love
was
Aqua
good.
knows how.
That was
it.
good.
Was
He
Look,
said
good. It
that.
was like,
Aqua,
that's me,
Aqua
bitches.
knows what makes a good show because he let me get my entire synopsis out, my entire narrative out before dropping that.
For
Gorgeous.
destroying your narrative. Now Sunday means
Take
jack
the dub,
shit.
man.
Sunday
Got
means
it.
jack shit now. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's funny. But no one will ever get their own credit or their own due because if you coached a winning team, it ain't because you coached it. It's because the last guy gave it to you, you bastard. It's a
Yep.
madhouse.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
I mean, literally, I could turn a phrase to
But
where
really, to us Dolphin fans, the only tree that should have mattered was the perfect tree, and that was the Shula tree.
yeah.
He was the
but
only tree that wasn't perfect.
you know what though? I didn't see it with my own eyes, so it didn't happen. So everybody's lying.
I know.
I
think Don Shula needs the Shula family need to resurrect their
yeah, they need to
their
reanimate the
offspring,
body.
reanimate and start getting these positions.
Yeah,
Oh my
speaking of branches that never bore fruit, man, Mike, David, gosh, man.
Mike and Dave. Well, David had some success in Carolina before he
did.
kind
What
of
were they doing on the
Denver.
sideline all those years when their daddy was coaching, man? Like,
I
really?
know.
Just staring at all like the rest of us. Like, damn, this guy is
Right,
good, bro.
right.
How do you know
Watching
what to
Dan
do?
Marino, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and watching Dan. I mean, are you kidding me? First of all, that noise it made when it came out of his hand, it was like, sounded like it was a little freaking like it was shooting a potato gun every time he threw the ball, bro. Yeah.
So, Crypto, what do you got left to say?
Where's your square at, Crypto?
Oh, nothing. My square.
No squares tonight.
It wasn't in the press conference today, but it was just observing.
Well, real quick, what do you think about McDaniel parroting the entire Tuanier narrative that we've listened to for the last year?
Yeah, as far as him parroting it, as far as falling into the PR,
almost
falling
as if
into
he
the
was
thing
almost
with the
as if
plan
he
thing.
was reading a T. Rich post. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, in that sense.
Blockers got to block. Defense can't give up scores. I mean, what are we?
Yeah, that
listening?
was
I thought that was
yes,
on
by the way,
himself.
blockers got to block. It was on that one, but then the other one, he was a weird twist. I don't know if people picked up on it when the person asked the question, "Hey, have you studied the Miami Dolphins in preparation as far as knowing what you already have here now that you're with the Dolphins?" He said, "I would hope so," but the first thing he pointed out was that he gave credit to our defense.
Yeah,
which
for
was a
beating
product
them
that
and
was
beating
which
them
was
2
a
years
pro
ago.
which basically was a product of his predecessor, who's the spawn of
Well,
Satan.
I'll have to give him credit for that then, because
Well, did you hear what
I
he
must have
said?
missed that spot.
If you remember, Crypto,
Yeah,
and I'm
he gave
gonna
the
go
defense
over
a
this.
lot of credit on
I'm gonna go
how
over
the
this
defense
tomorrow.
was so good and how he glad to be now that's his defense now, that he ain't got
That's
to
right.
worry about no more.
That's
I
what
thought
he
that
said.
was
He
pretty
said
clever that
the
he said
Dolphins
that.
defense. He goes, I mean,
It's
our
set.
defense beat San Francisco 2 years. He said our
Our-
defense. I like
our
that. That was pretty
defense
good.
beat
That
San
was pretty
Yeah,
smart.
that was
2
when
years
Kiko
ago.
clocked Kaepernick in the head, ain't it?
No. He's
it was,
talking about
what's
the
called?
year when we
Actually,
we went on that run. We beat San Fran. We beat LA.
yeah,
Right, I remember.
and that was Jimmy
and
G's first game back too.
Oh man, it was
the injury
a
he had.
great game. That was a good
Yeah,
run.
it was
That's
a
when the
clown
defense
show.
started flashing. Yeah, man, it was pretty good.
That
So-
year when our defense was throwing haymakers that time, so I
It
thought it
was
was
fun.
I thought it kind of slid on the radar that he kind of indirectly gave Flo compliments on
He did, and
building
then
a great
he
defense.
kind of
and he
smartly
took
positioned himself as Our
to say, okay,
defense.
now it's our defense.
That's right.
Which
It
was
was very
clever.
smart.
That was pretty
Yeah, it was
smart.
very
Throw the
clever.
flash up, Chris. I can outro us, man.
All right, sound good, brother. All right,
Yep.
see you, Crypto. What you want?
Throw the flash up. I'll throw the plugs up.
All right, yeah, hold up. Boom.
So everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. You've got Tonk 7 with TMI Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. You can always catch Tonk there. You also got Mike on the mic, who does drop the mic on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, but has an open mic on Tuesdays for everybody to join. Then you got Cashin tickets like tonight on Thursdays at 10, featuring Brandon the Bookie, Big Kevin, Oz. And then, of course, you can always catch me. And do me a favor, if you want to see more out of me, go subscribe to my channel as well, if you'd be so kind. In the meantime, subscribe to this channel. Anybody want to do anybody want to help out with Chris here, El Capitan, in this venture that he's trying to build, this community he's trying to build? You see the Cash App and the Venmo links right there on the flash. And I appreciate everybody coming and joining us tonight in the discussion as well as chat. What else you got to say, Chris?
Oh no, that's it, my man. I'm just having technical difficulties. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
problem.
Check me out tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow night with the Finns Tailgate, and there it goes, guys. I'll be on tomorrow with the Finns Tailgate, and on Saturday we got Dono Daly's coming by at noon on Saturday. I can't wait to get Dono on the Finns Tailgate, do a little interview, a little bit of talking. We're going to do not only Dolphins talk or Super Bowl talk, which will be probably the most of the discussion. But I got a couple of zingers for Dono that, I think he'll appreciate. It's a couple of funny things. And guys, also don't forget, we got the Tua card coming out. It's free, giving it away on the show. You got to be on and subscribed to YouTube to be able to get in on it when I give it away. So maybe it'll be given away tomorrow. Maybe it'll be given away Saturday. Maybe it'll be given away Sunday. I don't know. You're just going to have to come back and find out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. It will be something that'll be like a random drawing. It's you guys will see it. It'll literally just show everybody that's watching, and it'll randomly pick one of you guys. I have no control over it. It's not rigged. It's not nothing. And when you get it, give me your contact information. I can have it mailed to you. You can ask Ennis himself. I sent him a hat before. I send out the things. And guys, thank you for coming.
I am a contest winner myself, by the way, guys.
Yes, he is.
Just to let you know, the man does come through.
That's right. All right, guys, take it easy. And you know what? Everybody love everybody.